good to be busy.
Okay, so you're just looking to see if the equalization's
I
going
have
to change?
run
change much.
from meeting to meeting in the last 2 days,
Okay, I'll send her
and
an
don't have
email
a
when I
second
get
to
home.
myself. I love it.
Thank you all very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tim.
Have a good evening. You're not coming tonight?
You need anything, what are you patting your pocket for? If you need anything we're supposed to pay? Okay.
He looks like the Cheshire Cat.
He got what he
This
wanted.
tan signed, he's ready, good to go.
You can reach me in the Bahamas. Just kidding.
Belize. Belize, no extradition treaty.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, we are on tape and video. You okay? All right.
Have a good night.
We will open the meeting of March 31st, 2011. Let the records be shown that all selectmen are present. Okay, we'll get right into this. We have approval of the minutes for 3/17 and 3/21. I know 3/17 was a real short meeting. No, that was the long one. 21 was the short.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to bring the minutes of March 21st to the floor for discussion and possible, oh, I'm sorry,
Go
wrong
ahead.
one.
We'll take 21. Go ahead.
Oh, you want to do those
Yep.
first?
Let's do that. That's real quick.
For discussion, for approval?
Second. Last paragraph, first page, needs to be stricken into non-public, okay? That is on the 21st.
Oh,
21st.
Other than that, I didn't see anything that needed to be changed.
if we're going to turn that into non-public information,
Yes,
we need to make sure we give these back, be shredded.
yes.
Yes.
We will.
Right, and that,
Otherwise, they're out there.
Yep.
okay, all those approving the minutes of March 21st, 2011 as corrected?
Yep.
Yes.
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 Abstain.
Abstain.
All right, the minutes of March 17th, 2011, it's a very thick one. Make a motion that we bring it to the floor for discussion.
Second.
Fourth line,
Yep.
Selectman Joe Plessner.
Yes. Joe Jessamine.
That would be Joe Jessamine. Yeah.
And continuing on that,
a flash?
Yeah, I'm going down the list.
continuing on that line of topic of Joe Jessman, Selectman Jessman under Planning Board, I don't think we've tethered him to his resignation.
No, I certainly hope not. I would be.
We tethered him to a few things.
Hindered my resignation.
Tethered?
Yeah, well, spell check, they're spelled correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for at least a year, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, no, for a few weeks, and then I
Oh,
put
just down here.
autocorrect, so as she
Oh,
types
right up
Bouchard,
here.
it comes up Boudreaux.
Okay.
Page 3?
Yeah, I saw that. You see, I highlighted it. So.
And she put it on things for me to
She
sign.
did work here when Joe was at Selectmen. So. I thought that was rather imaginative, that he was tethered.
On page 2, under Concord Regional Solid Waste, Chair Constantino stated this is a 2-member board. It's like a 30-member board. Now, I'm
What?
not sure how to correct that. 2 representatives from the town of Tilton, maybe?
Right, that's what we were talking about.
Yep.
Can we go back to this, on page 2, Park Commissioners? I believe that there was a no vote in there. The motion passed, but there was a no vote in there. So there was not, it was not all were in favor. Thank you.
I have a question as to procedures. As a ex officio member, you're not a full member of any particular board, is that correct?
If you're ex officio of that committee, you're a voting member of that committee.
So that would make me a full member.
Ex officio simply means that you are a member of that committee because you are a selectman.
So that doesn't make me a full member.
It makes you a complete 100% full member.
Okay, under recycling committee, page 2, it says Selectman Justman will no longer be a full member. So that's incorrect.
That's right.
What it is you will be a member by your ex officio status, but not a
It's a
regular
member is a
member, which
member
is
is a
what you
member.
had before.
So what
It's-
exactly do we put in that spot?
I would just eliminate that
delete it.
sentence.
You
Yeah,
are
let's
a
get rid of
member.
the sentence.
Ex officio is very confusing to some people.
Well,
It
I
simply
just
means
changed
that
over. I
you
didn't
are
know.
a full member. In some cases, like on the planning board, you can't be the chair, which is nice.
Yes, very
Yeah,
nice.
I can see that.
But you are a full voting member.
Okay.
Ex officio just means
Well,
you're
that's what
there
I thought, but
automatically.
seeing this in the minutes, I thought I'd bring it up.
So I think if we just strike Selectman Jessamine will no longer be a full member,
Just get
then
rid of
that,
it.
that will be sufficient, because it satisfies Selectman Jessamine as ex officio to the recycling committee, second by Selectman Dawson. I think that satisfies.
Period, and then we go
Right.
to, at this time, Selectman Dossman made a motion, right?
Right.
Right,
Delete that sentence.
exactly, right.
Did you get that, Catherine?
Oh, that Catherine.
Did you get that,
On the
Catherine?
second page down the bottom, under recycling committee, it says Selectman Justman will no longer be a full member, which isn't true, so we've decided to delete that entire sentence.
Okay. Oh, on the planning board, on page 1, it wasn't all were in favor, I abstained.
I have a question. Well, it has to do with the minutes. Is there any way we can get this printed two-sided and save half the papers that we're generating? Just a question.
There's no reason why it can't be.
Is that the consensus of the board? Would we all like it that way?
We could cut our paper use
I
in
would
half.
like, I'd like it to be tested because I don't want it to be difficult to read.
Okay.
Yep. We'll try it and see
We'll
what we
try it
think
and
of
see
it.
what we think about it? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
We'll try it and then see, yep.
Is it an energy commission or energy committee on page 3?
Committee.
Committee.
She's got commission.
See, I had my spell check on and went right past it.
On top of page 8, Sandy was appalled. Appalled at, take out the word was, I think.
Was appalled at the fact, yeah. How do you spell vacuum?
VACUUM.
U-U-M.
Is there an end?
I thought it was U-M-M.
No,
No end at the end of vacuum?
VACUUM.
Yep.
Not many words have double U's.
No, that's why it didn't look right.
Any more corrections, concerns, or changes that we need to make? All those in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, public input and no public. There's an item I'd like to bring up from last week's manifest, which I meant to bring it up as we were doing it, but it was quite a busy week, so. I think we have enough of these. Last week in our budget, last week in our manifest, there were requests for checks for certain individuals that assisted the town moderator during election time. And in his budget, he has set aside monies for the assistant town moderator, which would be Ken Randall and/or Senator Sanders, or both. He also set aside monies for ballot clerks, which were the three, Judy, Nellie, and Sally, which but two of the checks that he would like us to sign and approve are people that counted, you know, when we did a standing vote and we needed to count, that he asked to help out during the town meeting during that day. And to my knowledge, we've never paid that before. It's always been on a volunteer basis, and I don't see it in the moderator's budget, and that's what drew it to my attention. So I'd like to find out what the board's opinion on this is.
Looking at his budget, there are items here for counting the ballots, which is downstairs, which I didn't realize we paid people to do that one. I'm sure selectmen would volunteer. But you're talking about specifically, we paid people at the deliberative session of town meeting
Correct.
to count
Our hands, that's
Our
always
hands?
been a volunteer
That's
job.
always been volunteer.
It's always been a volunteer, and I don't, it's not, trust me, it's not the person that they're paying, it's the act of paying them
Right.
that I have an issue with.
Well, especially when there are people that are willing to do it.
Exactly.
I sit here as a guy who donates at least 20 hours a week to the town. To even suggest that we pay people to count hands is, I can't, no. No. That would be my vote.
We're supposed to be saving money, not setting
Right.
precedences to
I
spend
agree
more.
with that.
Stunned by that.
The other,
A number of years, Joe's, has helped counting votes, and he never got a check. It was always volunteer.
If he couldn't find any volunteers next year, I can find some,
Well,
I'm sure.
it's up to him to assign who he wants. He has the complete authority to do that, and that's under his purview. But it's not, it's always been something that the town and the townspeople have been given freely to do that at the moment when they're there.
As well they should.
well, I mean, I kind of have an issue with this one up here at the top, too. Attending the selectmen's meeting. First of all, I mean, he wasn't here that long.
I could even go with that, but when you go down to assistant town moderator, to think Ken Randall worked 20 hours on the 11th is beyond belief. They've got him down for 14 hours and 6 hours in 2 different locations. Ken's a strong guy, but I don't believe he
Well,
did.
this is
This is
estimated.
Tuesday, and this is an estimation.
This is his estimated budget.
And
This
you
is
have
what
to
he
understand
thinks he'll
something.
do.
One says the middle school, one says the high school. So you're at the town meeting and you're at the
Voting.
Voting.
for one, and then you're at town meeting for the other.
Even so, he can't be 2 places at one time.
But
Yeah,
they're
but
not
they're
two
two
places at
different-
once, they're,
2 different times.
Town meeting is the second Tuesday of March. We postponed the deliberative session until the following Saturday.
Oh, so the
So it's a
fact that it
two-part
says the
town
11th
meeting.
is
Right.
misleading.
exactly.
Okay, all right,
It's a two-part town
all
meeting.
right. I just
This
didn't
is-
believe he worked 20 hours
This
on the
is
11th.
also just an estimate. He had to put numbers in his budget. I don't know what
I get it.
the actual was. I assume he submitted a bid to be paid, which showed their actual times.
This actual
Yeah.
shows that he has 3 assistant moderators. March 8th, March 8th, March 8th. He had 3 assistant moderators on the 8th and 2 on the 12th.
Well, I know the day of the vote,
Altogether.
So he had 3 on Tuesday and 2 on Saturday?
yeah.
Yes, because Center and Ken were on Tuesday.
Yeah, Senator
They were
Sanders.
both there on Tuesday. And then he had 3, which would have been Ken, Center, and Pat.
But this paper only indicates Pat, Ken, and Center on the 8th as assistant moderators.
No.
It doesn't show Pat Clark as an assistant moderator on the 12th.
But he was there, he was counting the hands on my side.
Yeah. But he wasn't.
But maybe he was not acting as assistant moderator at that time. Maybe he was just volunteering to count hands.
But he
because-
wasn't at the 8th.
But if he was sworn in, if he had been sworn in on Tuesday as assistant moderator, and then he's at the next meeting,
But he came and he voted and he left
at the town meeting?
when we had the vote,
Oh,
the
the
ballot vote.
I mean, it's both days.
He came in, I remember him coming in and voting, he talked
this is
and
like
laughed
that.
with
This
Ken
might be a
and...
mistake. This might
And then he
should be the
left.
12th, probably.
Sometimes he comes back and counts.
He was counting ballots at town meeting. I saw him do that.
But I counted ballots last year and never got paid. I counted ballots the year before that and never got paid.
Yeah, me
But
too.
it doesn't say in here that he's paying anyone for specifically counting ballots at town meeting. He's counting ballots in town hall, because we count to make sure if they send us.
Yeah, but that's always been voluntary, too. You know how many years?
Yeah, I was going to come to that one.
You know how many years I've done that with
I did it too.
Cindy?
Can
I
we
never got
ask
paid to
Chuck
do it.
about this? I mean, there might be a perfectly logical explanation.
Well,
You look at this up here, on the 8th up here, there's not anything at all for Pat.
Right, that's what I mean, down here, I think
It's
there's a
only
mistake.
down
Total due each
here.
individual.
Right, it's only down on the 12th. He wants to pay, and that's it.
So we have, what's interesting here is you have the two in the middle. If you go to town meeting, see, that should say town meeting elections, town meeting deliberative. If you go to the town meeting March 12th, the two middle individuals, they have count ballots. They don't have assistant moderator. Be at Center Standards, I know we were waiting for him to come as assistant moderator, and he was waiting for Jimmy Shepherd, but for some reason he could not attend. So this is not correct.
well, maybe we just need to call and get,
Another one, Phil, look at this one.
These were prepared
Perhaps we should pen him a letter.
September of 2010, though, the ones I got.
Yeah, that's the estimated budget. This is
The actual?
what
Haven't seen
the
that.
request.
And ask him.
Oh, I see.
Along with-
Because the other thing he has up here is attending one day of training,
Paid to one individual.
8 hours at $16 an hour?
one day of what?
Training.
Training.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, he did it.
That would have
But
been
look at the
That's this one right here.
Established town warrant.
Good bucks.
Didn't we,
Attending selectmen's
that one of
meeting,
those things
established
like
town
the
warrant.
selectmen's
So we're
school,
paying him
the
to come to
moderator
town
school?
Checklist.
That Ken
for
ran
the selectmen's meeting?
Or a moderator.
Oh, the moderator.
Ken for his time.
And did we? Was that submitted?
Ms. Chairman.
What, his registration?
One second. I'm trying to answer her question. Wait a minute. I'm trying to answer.
I don't see it in here.
What was her question?
Did we pay the moderator for attending the selectmen's meeting for 2 hours?
If it's on the sheet that he submitted, it was paid.
It's not on the sheet for town meeting.
But it's in the budget.
It is in his budget.
What's in the budget? No, I think he just, I don't have a copy of what you have, so I think,
I just have town meeting.
yeah, he just submitted for town meeting.
Okay.
The one I questioned was this one. This one was confusing because it says
March 8th.
that, but that wasn't the case. It was,
This doesn't concur with this.
I thought, this one doesn't.
Right.
Based on what he's saying.
That doesn't concur with this.
Right.
I mean, he has it here, and he has that, and then over here, he does have assistant moderator, but he has the date wrong.
Yeah.
See? That should say assistant, he's not the town moderator.
Right, well, and also, this would have been town meeting, oh, he has November 2nd. What is November 2nd?
I don't know what these dates are.
Okay, what was your question?
God only knows. Oh, who sets the fees for the town moderator's assistants? Is that the selectman or the moderator?
Well, the moderator submits his budget to the selectmen, and then the selectmen review his budget and approve his budget.
And then it goes to the budget committee. The budget committee has final approval, well, town meeting has final approval.
So he doesn't get paid till next year?
It was, we just approved the
Oh, I
budget.
see, I
We
see.
just
I see.
approved the budget, so they approved the fees.
So these are monies that have already been approved?
They were approved at town
Well,
meeting.
most of the monies have been approved. We've not seen that one check that he's requesting to come out of there, out of the approved budget.
I have an issue with that.
I have an issue with that. Personally, I have an issue with it being paid at March 12th meeting. So I'd like to know what, if anybody has the same or
No, I
different,
haven't.
and what's the board's consensus? What would we like to do with it?
I mean, I guess my only issue is it's always been a voluntary thing that a couple of the people who were at town meeting would get up and help count hands when we had a hand vote. It's never been a paid position before, and although, we're very appreciative that these people do this, I mean, I can't see paying them for counting hands.
Well, in his list, he doesn't say that. He's made them assistant moderators.
Yes, to count, I remember him
Well-
saying that.
I have-
An assistant moderator theoretically has a lot more power than counting, and I'm sitting here trying to remember them doing anything else.
That's all
Well,
we
you
do.
had Ken Randall accepting the ballots at the ballot box, and that can only be done by a moderator or his assistant or pro tem.
But
But
there were two in
if-
the audience counting hands.
Right.
I have,
And they counted ballots. That's all they did.
I have another question. It's not so much, it appears from the two check stubs that are on there that they were paid the full amount that he requested without any consideration as to taxes owed or anything like that, when every other person on a committee in this town who receives a stipend has taxes taken out of it. Now, I understand,
These aren't stipends.
These aren't stipends,
Section 215 agreement with Social Security where ballot clerks are not taxed.
right.
okay, that explains it, I won't pursue that any further.
And Tim has a copy of all that documentation, so that when we all disappear, that documentation was over there.
Right.
Thank you, Joyce.
Ballot clerks aren't taxed.
We have to, by law, we have to tax elected officials. They're not taxed.
Well, I don't know how the rest of you feel about it.
How are we going to correct it? Or attempt to correct it? Do you want to write a letter, send a letter to Chuck and ask him, question him on what his thinking is on this and go from there, or ask him, invite him here to speak with us, or?
I admire the job that these people do, and $3,000 just seems like an excessive amount somehow.
Well,
I don't
you pay
know. I don't know what to say.
$1,000 for the room.
I know, and that seems a little excessive, but whatever on that one, I guess. Even $2,000 seems a bit much somehow.
I think it would be best to put our thoughts in writing. It's easier for him to answer and respond to something written.
Yep, I agree.
Joyce, you want to draw up something for us and? Okay. I think if I'm reading the rest of the Board of Selectmen, it's the one assistant moderator who did the counting on March 12th. I think that's the one in question. Or are we saying that both of the assistant moderators doing the counting on March 12th is in question?
Well, I think the bigger question is, did he make one of them an assistant moderator just to do counting? If that was the only task for that assistant moderator, then someone else could have counted without being an assistant, I believe.
Well, he did count ballots. Remember, they took the box behind the screen and,
Right, but he had 3
right,
assistant moderators,
right.
and it only needed
Can we-
2 of them to count ballots.
What, Norm?
Well, I was going to say, just to confirm that we only paid for 1 assistant moderator in the past, can we just go back and look at the records for previous town meetings?
I know of one town meeting we paid for 2.
Yes, we did.
I believe in the last couple, we've paid 2, because I know...
2 assistants?
No, 1 assistant, the
Well, that-
town moderator and 1 assistant.
That's, okay, that's the thing, you know, and if we paid for 1, I don't have a problem with having a moderator and an assistant moderator, and I don't have a problem with the moderator swearing in other people just to count standing votes or even ballots, but, you know, with the understanding that you're volunteering.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Joyce, you'll get together a letter, and you've got our thoughts.
And then I'll also do the research.
Okay.
Can we
Do the,
also,
do the what? I didn't hear that.
Research on the back, I go back to
$6,000 to count
what was budgeted, what was actually expended,
Okay,
2008, 2009.
On the list.
okay,
There you are.
great.
I almost think it's redundant what we've spent in the past. I mean, the question is, do you need 3 assistant moderators at the deliberative session of town meeting? I don't think so.
What is that about?
Should we question his budget at this point? It seems like the horse is already out of the barn. We don't typically pay the moderator to attend the selectmen's meeting.
Right.
He usually comes at his own will.
That's correct.
And we don't typically pay people to go to classes, do we?
No, we pay for the registration, but I don't believe,
We don't pay them hourly to attend. And he has it in his budget. I don't remember seeing this budget.
No,
Oh,
hourly.
Yeah, but I see a thing on this anyway that says mileage.
Mileage we usually do unless
mileage if he
they,
takes his own vehicle.
but we have a policy to take the town car. If it's available, if it's not available, then we pay the mileage.
But I
That's the
also,
If
policy.
it's available and you choose to take your own vehicle,
Then
then
you
that's
don't
on
get-
you.
right.
That's on you.
I thought also that the count ballots, the test voting and stuff, I thought that was all, you just came in and did it.
Well, typically,
Yeah.
the clerk looks for volunteers.
Right.
And I don't know, isn't it the clerk's responsibility to count the ballots? I don't think it's a moderator's job.
I think the moderator
He's responsible too, but,
count,
yeah.
final count, the moderator.
And when the ballots come in from the Secretary of State's office, the clerk orders the ballots from the Secretary of State's office. When they come in, I believe it's her responsibility to make sure that it is correct.
But a moderator comes in and does the counting.
Right.
I don't think, I'm not asking whether normally the moderator comes in and does the counting. I'm asking what's required by law.
Cindy would be the one to answer.
I'm just, if we're really going to try to save money,
Right,
Well, that's good to know for next year.
right.
Budget will come up again.
Oh, yeah. It definitely will, and I think that those are good points for next year, so.
All right.
Shit, my phone. You still working on this?
yeah, go ahead. It's
Okay.
I can look at this.
Okay, then we will wait for Joyce's letter. Thank you for your input.
both of those documents back, Pat?
Yep.
There were 2 of those requests with check stubs attached. Did you get them both back? I just want to make sure you've got them.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We did minutes. Okay, moving right along. Okay. Joyce, do you ready for us, or?
Some of this, let's see, this is non-public, that's non-public.
She's got a big stack of non-public.
Pardon me? I don't know if that got in the FYI or if you all received copies.
Yeah.
This is the
30 hours of overtime. Whew. Okay.
after my part of the...
Whoa. I guess the chief's got some explaining to do. All right. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay, one question I had is I found the Terminex contracts, and I just haven't called them yet. I just want to make sure that there's two different things being done here.
Yes, there are
One is
two.
for the bats and the flying squirrels.
Yes.
And
One is a yearly, let me see.
And one is the bait for the mice.
One is a 30-day period, and then there's one that's a 2-year, I mean, a whole year worth.
Is that for the Grange?
So did you want me to call him?
So this is six different treatments for this, for $560, and then this is for $600, and this is over a 30-day period.
What are they treating it with? Do we want to know?
Do we want it?
I'm just wondering, did you want to sign those so I can call him, or do you want me to call him first and tell him that we're ready to send?
And updated. But they have to be the same money.
Same amount.
Right. I would say go ahead and have them sign, send an updated one.
Okay.
And then we can sign it. This is actually the last,
December.
well, do we want to do that? Because we encumbered the monies. We need to do this on the 2010 agreement. We want to have them make up a new.
Or we can sign that and send him that.
Right.
Okay.
I'd say sign this one.
And
Yeah,
then
if you've got,
when do you want him to start? Is it,
Yeah, tell them to get in touch with me and we can do it. Yep.
Now's the best time to start, especially before they start saying, okay, it's time to get up and go out into the field and we'll be back next fall. I'd like
Right.
to
Most of
get rid of them.
them are putting traps outside. Outside. into
oh,
traps.
that's smart.
Yeah. Yep. And you take them for a walk. Right.
so that's okay to start. And then this was part of those documents, I just didn't know what the status of that was. You know that you had mentioned that the town had received a donation for the installation of the sewer?
Yes. Right. Well, we paid, the town of Tilton encumbered some monies to pay $1,000, which is really $970. We got $500 from the Rotary Club, and we had, I think, $513, something like that, that we encumbered last year, which covered this. So this is all taken care of for monies.
Find a little spot.
You'll let me know when you want to go forward with this?
He's going to do that within the next few weeks.
He is, okay.
It's Cullen Concrete, and Upcountry's going to do the work.
Okay, and this is from 2010?
He's donating the labor, yep. Yep.
All right, and then on this, were you going to bring up the town hall repair bids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, but this is the Grange RFP, and this, I think I had sent this to the board that, maybe we still needed to get the trim around the doors stained.
Right, yes.
So,
Well, have we decided who to award it to?
no, this is a different than what she's talking about. This is something different that came in.
Trim around the doors here.
Downstairs.
This is an offer that came in.
If you read this.
I was going to say, I copied mine too, if somebody else needs one.
I don't even know what we're
We're
discussing.
talking about the
Yeah.
doors, the
Oh, the
front
trim
doors.
around the doors? I got that.
The doors and the trim around the doors.
I think that
I'm sure I do. I saw it, and I print all that stuff out.
Thank you.
Either way, whether it's through this or if the bid gets awarded in that direction.
well, this wasn't anything going out for bid.
I know, that was just because he's
Right.
such a great guy.
Yeah.
So
I just told them I would bring this to your attention.
my answer is thank you very, 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 very much.
Yes.
And yes, and ask him about the trim on the door to see how much that would cost to have that done at the same time.
Right.
And then that way we've got an estimate on that. Now, the bid on the water damage bid, is that what you wanted to
Yeah,
talk
the
about?
two, we got the Grange and the water damage.
Okay, the water damage bid, and I want to apologize ahead of time, because we were sitting here talking about the,
Terminex contractor.
it's down there being
That
signed.
way.
I'm still working it, Joyce.
While I was talking to you about the water damage bids, and I said I would go back and I would talk to one of the contractor that bid it. And the first thing out of his mouth was, well, didn't you get my voicemail? And I apologized to everyone because he had sent me a voicemail on, we met on Thursday to discuss it, and we had a lot of questions. Remember that meeting? We had a lot of questions. He went home, talked to his son about it, and then phoned me on Friday evening, and I never got the voicemail. Well, I never checked my phone, actually, because I had the weekend off. And so when we met on Monday or Thursday, whenever we talked about the bids, make a long story short, he had already called me. But he discussed it with his son and felt that it was, there was a huge discrepancy in what the adjuster and what he was proposing. And he had already on his voicemail said that he would go down $1,000, so it would be a $500 bid on that item. For the
Did he,
removal of
did he
insulation.
talk about why there was the discrepancy, why there was the,
He thinks that it might be a miscommunication to actually how it, because he wasn't here during the walkthrough. It was his son that came through the walkthrough of what actually is entailed in doing it, and how much is taken out and where it's going to go, bagged and brought out, and how long of a job that's going to be. And so they talked it over and felt that that was okay to do. They felt very comfortable with the bid. So that's where we're at with that.
I have a question, new guy, question. Can people change their bids after their bid on the bid date?
It's not a question of changing the bid. If we have a question on it, and if there's a misunderstanding or something that we have a question on,
The scope of the work? or
right,
whatever?
if the scope of work still remains the same and everything, and we have a question on it, then we ask.
it's our job to make the
Right.
best deal possible.
Oh, gosh, yes,
That
and
means-
I agree with that. I just wondered what the legalities were. I'm learning there's lots of legalities.
No, this is our policy, so we can,
Okay.
Also, when we put these types of projects out to bid, the wording in the bid document is very specific, that it's, the selectmen can do whatever they want.
Uh-huh, okay. Works for me.
And it's also in the bid, and you'll see it with the Grange proposal, that it's not necessarily the low bidder that gets the bid.
No,
It's not automatically the low bidder that gets the bid.
certainly.
It's who's going to best fit the job that we have, the scope of work. So, do you have the bids with you? I didn't, I'm going to go through a whole big pile of them before I do.
Those are the two.
Okay.
The insurance specs.
Okay. So, that puts the bid within so that makes it $10,526.21.
oh, I never had the bids.
And the other one?
The other one is $8,978. This is the one that we have issues with.
Did we,
There's no materials, there's
right,
nothing materials.
no material list?
No, we didn't call because the consensus of the board was
Okay.
because there was so much left out in a lot of it that we weren't. It was an incomplete.
Right.
That was the consensus of the board.
Sounds like a foreign policy.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we go with Country Builders LLC for awarding the bid for the water damage to Town Hall for $10,526.21.
Second?
Is this the one that you would sign when you just see it? This is,
Hey, can we ask him to do the trim around the doors?
He already
For that price?
volunteered.
We volunteered to do the doors.
No, the trim,
Was the
Email.
trim included?
No, I thought the email
I think it was
said
just the
doors.
door.
just the door?
just the doors.
And just the doors at the bottom of the stairs,
Right.
Oh, I
because the
thought
other
the
doors
trim
are
was in there,
recessed.
too.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you're in the voting hall.
We're in discussion.
We're in
I wanted to
discussion.
make it a condition of awarding that we get the trim taken care of.
Yes. Up Country Builders.
And just for the record, I feel that the other bid was incomplete. I'm not familiar with the quality of their work, and I would feel uncomfortable considering that they didn't bid the job as we presented in voting for that particular company. I'm sure they're fine people, but based on what I know.
So can we make it a condition that the trim gets done around the doors?
No,
It's like we have this giant
no,
hole.
that's a bribe.
Well,
No.
Oh, I know, Catherine.
I'm going to go out there and paint it pink then.
Easy.
Oh,
Easy.
no, any
You don't want to get
color
up on a
but pink.
ladder now.
I want it to get attention.
We still got some baby puke left over.
Let's use the baby puke.
Anything but pink. If you paint anything in Town Hall pink, you have to step down as a selectman. So watch what color you
I
paint.
second the motion.
Right.
I hate pink.
Yeah, me too.
All set.
Yes, we got that consensus.
Okay, so I'll ask him to submit a contract. This is just a difficult.
Right.
Okay, so nothing precludes me while they are working in here to talk to them about the trim, keep reminding them about the trim.
Just say we won't sign the checks if they're...
How about we put a sign on it? Too bad this trim
How about
isn't
if we
finished.
just,
Yeah, the trim hasn't been done. The doors
Yeah.
look great, but the trim still looks awful.
Yeah.
You want to twist him for the door trim?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
The thing I like too is that for task one, which is up here, they're going to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
It's a much more complete estimate.
Yes, it is.
They
we
looked at
ever
the
get-
RFP, they responded to the
We were gonna
RFP.
have somebody from Public Works come and put the holes in the bottom to let air into the walls. Did that ever get done?
I could put holes in the wall, Norm.
Yeah, but we're not looking for those kind of holes.
Sorry, I misunderstood.
How big of a hole do you want?
That's what we're discussing down at this end.
Boots will do it.
we'll take a vote now. Thank you. The offer to do the door, the trim is included in that.
No kidding.
It
Hey,
was.
he's got to be complete. We weren't. Outstanding. Okay.
Okay, but would you,
Yes.
number one, please thank him for that, because that's a huge, Upcountry Builders is going to refinish our front
Why don't we just
doors.
put a little note on the website?
Yes, we can thank
Let
them.
people know that
He's
you know.
offered to do that
that he has voluntarily
offered to,
adopted our front doors.
yes. And trim, don't forget and
Yeah,
trim.
And trim.
Catherine needs to say and trim.
But it might give people let people know that, if they see something else they want to adopt.
Great. Like
Town?
adopt a road or adopt a highway? Yeah.
Adopt a
part
piece
of
of your
the
town
town
hall.
I got a couple care interiors. Oh, no, okay.
Did you want to do the Grange RFP now?
We can, whatever you've got on your list. What did we just do with it?
I got mine.
Okay, you got it.
What?
Grange.
The
The
Grange.
Grange RFP?
Yeah, we passed them
I
out.
never saw it.
Yes, I
Yes.
passed them on. It was a single piece of paper. That's okay, I promptly lost it somewhere. Lost it.
At some point, I want to hear about
We have to vote on the last
around
one.
after.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Talk to Don Pembroke.
All those in favor of the motion
Aye.
to accept the bid for $10,526.21 for Upcountry Builders?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you, Catherine, for keeping me on track here.
I took them and I put paper clips on, I handed them to Pat, and I
Yeah,
went
and we,
downstairs.
they were passed
Oh, I
out.
don't know.
I have two.
It
Okay,
looks
I don't
like
know.
this.
3.
Oh, I have three.
I do.
Oh, I have four.
I don't know.
I do not have this.
Somebody kept them.
I guess I didn't pass them out.
I was sitting here going, man, it was a long day. I have no idea what I did with them.
Okay,
Wasn't
so
me.
part of this is we have to keep in line with the Preservation of Historic Division on that, and so Joyce has incorporated some of their language into it. If you notice under 8, modified door leading from main hall to the rear of the building, doorway to be 3 feet or ADA compliant. Contractor shall take special care when enlarging the opening to the main meeting hall to ensure that the metal wall surfaces and wainscoting are preserved. Trim surrounding these openings shall be replaced with in-kind materials using the same proportions as the original. That is based on criteria given to us by the New Hampshire Preservations of Historic Buildings. So there's replacement doors shall match the existing doors in material and be of similar design. In original doors, we have to keep the original doors in storage. So
they can see them if, to
no, in
compare 'em?
case they ever go back into a,
Yeah, okay.
they have to,
Yeah.
I guess.
Do you have a list of what the ADA compliancy is? So as these bids come in, you can be certain that they are being compliant to ADA? The width of the doors? I mean, I think
Yes.
there is a list somewhere, I've had it.
We have a list
past
from the
years.
state. Do you have a list from the state? Because,
With all that from the state.
okay,
And I also have my handbook. for
Okay.
Buildings. In fact, I should put that out on the counter. It's in my credenza.
I have one too. But,
Yeah.
okay, as long as we have it to make sure when the bids come in, that they are compliant.
The other thing, I found another place where I forgot to remove the word accessible and change it to compliant, the second sentence down on the first page.
right, it needs to be ADA compliant, not accessible, because right now it is ADA accessible, but it's not compliant, because once you get into the building, you can't move around in
Can't
it.
go anywhere.
Can't get through the door.
Okay, when would you, we changed the bid date to Thursday, April 28th, because you've got your your town meeting on the 21st. Now, when did you want to schedule appointments? Just as they come in, I call you, and
Right, and we can,
I found it's helpful when you can do more than one at one time.
Right, well, I don't have any
That way it
objections to
generates a
that.
lot of-
Yeah,
In the commercial world, you tell them that you're going to have a walkthrough on such and such a date,
right,
that's even better.
and everybody shows up.
Do you
Right.
want to do that?
yes.
The mandatory walkthroughs?
Such and such a date.
I mean, in the
right.
commercial world, that's what we do.
Yep. Just set your own date. when
Either
you
you're
wanna have
there
it.
or
Right.
forget putting in the bid.
You know, then you want to have it, whatever is the best day for you as far as, you know, and then we'll,
Well, you're going to walk through it with us, so you
Yeah.
understand it.
and then you just let us know, and some of us will show up to go through the walkthrough too.
What does
Think
it
I'll show
usually
up.
take a contractor? Do we allow them a week and a half, 2 weeks for them to do, or do, a week, 2 weeks for the walkthrough and then do the bid?
Lock mirror.
So we would have to schedule the walkthrough the week of the 11th and then open the bids the week of the 28th? Somewhere in that area? Okay. Okay.
And am I calling the project the correct name, Lockmere Grange Hall Senior Center?
I don't think we've designated it as a senior center yet,
Yeah, I
so
was just
maybe we
thinking
ought to
the
just
same
call it
thing.
Grange Hall.
No, we want funding, we want grants.
Yeah, you need to
Well, then we
name
need
it.
to name it.
Center,
Yes.
We'll need to name
What
it
does the
because
track
it's the
committee-
Grange Hall right now.
want for a name.
Well, we want it senior center, but I'm not sure whether we want Lockmere Grange Hall Senior Center. Good question.
Well, let's come up with a name for it. Why don't we call it the Lockmere Senior Center?
Then it makes it
Then
sound like
people-
it's only
Yeah.
for Lockmere.
I think Tilton Senior Center,
Okay.
Tilton Senior Center.
because we don't have one. It is for the entire town, and that
Right.
gives the entire town
I
ownership.
think it would be Tilton.
Okay, Tilton,
There you go.
Everybody in Tilton knows it's in Lockmere.
No, they don't. No, they don't. But Lockmere is Tilton, so the issue is moot.
I don't know, it's fun to tease new people about the whole Lockmere Winnisquam thing.
I live in Winnisquam. I live in Lockmere. I live in Tilton.
Hey, you don't. You live in Tilton. No, I live in Winnisquam.
I know. All the calls I used to get. Well, where is Winnisquam in relation to Tilton? It is Tilton. What?
Or it's Samerton, or maybe Belmont.
Yeah.
Depends upon where you
Depends
are
on where you're
precisely.
standing at the time. Okay, the senior center.
Yeah.
Can we make a motion to name it the Tilton Senior Center?
Second.
Motion's been made and second to name it the Tilton Senior Center. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sure.
The answer to your
Okay,
question is yes.
When was the ramp put in? Was that put in 2008 or 2009?
Oh, it has to be prior to 2009, because I was on the selectmen and it was, we
I'm
never,
thinking 8, the Eagle Scout guy did it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it was 08.
And then, right now, we have a septic system, but I put in the public sewer access will be available in late spring 2011.
Yep. Yep.
They started that project?
What?
No, they will.
They will.
Yep. They, it got too late when we actually approved it, but everything's in place. We encumbered the monies from last year, donations and
The other
stuff.
thing I'll do is I'll use that, we'll put it on the website and we post it around town, on our department bulletin boards and our kiosk, and then mail it to our bid list that we used.
The same for the water damage people? Yep.
And then I can, it's an extra effort, but I can do it. I do have phone numbers for all of them. Do you want me to call them and let them know that it's coming? Remember we had that instance with that one individual?
We have an email address for him now, though, right? Okay, I would just send it out.
Yeah, if I have email addresses for people.
I think we'd just be consistent with everybody and just email it out, because we'll have it on the kiosk, we'll have it at town hall, we'll have it on the website. So word gets around that,
Sure.
and
They're putting in a heating system that's only going to heat,
2 heating systems.
I don't see the second.
There's a,
This is the heating system now, this is just the.
right, there's a heating system in the kitchen.
There's a heating system in the main hall?
No,
Only?
there's one in the, right, it's in the hallway that heats the main hall.
Right.
That one can't be expanded into the kitchen area? We have to have a
Big
separate,
enough.
is it a oil-fired burner, or?
Well, when we get to that point, there was a gentleman here when we had the lady from the Fix-It program the other day come, and he's retired, and he lives on Andrews Road. Do you remember who I said? Well, anyway, he's retired, heating, air conditioning man.
I believe I know who he is.
When you get to that point, Fitzgibbon, Mr. Fitzgibbon,
Yep.
when you get to that point, let me know. He said, I'll help you out.
Nice.
It was very instrumental in helping St. Mary of the Assumption upgrade its heating system instead of replacing the whole thing.
Yeah,
At over 5 figures, he got it.
that would be nice if the existing could simply be expanded to include that.
To include it. So I
Usually
think,
it's just ductwork.
right, so I think what we'll do is maybe it could, that whole, if we get an efficient one.
When
to be
when do we
replaced.
want to send this out? Right away?
Well, I would like it right away, because this is the issue. In June, the New Hampshire Preservation for,
Well, we can amend
the
this.
New Hampshire Division of Historical Resources has another grant coming out, and they have grants specifically to the preservation of historic buildings. And they have, we will be eligible for a grant to restore the siding on the building.
Is that a division of state government? Are they going to have money?
No, it's not state government, it's federal.
Oh, okay. So,
Federal.
That's even a better question.
Are they going to have money?
well, I know of a particular program that's funded federally, but the state is cutting it.
Yeah. Well, if we can get this project moving, and it's an existing project, and we're renovating, they know that we're serious about the program and already in motion, then it makes it even more of a pleasing situation to them.
Then I would suggest sending this out, getting in touch with Mr. Fitzgibbons as soon as possible, getting him to go over there and look at it, giving you a recommendation, and then when you do your walkthrough, if needed, have an amendment to this prepared.
For the, okay, for the
and hand it
heating.
out.
Nice idea.
And you can
Okay.
also email it to all of those who chose not to go to the walkthrough as well.
Okay, so have him go through prior to the walkthrough or as part of the walkthrough?
Well, just
As
ask
soon
him
as
for,
possible, get him over there to assess the heating system, to determine whether or not the existing can be extended into into the kitchen area and the bathrooms.
right. We'll ask his
Get his
opinion on it.
recommendations.
And recommendations, I mean, and then,
That could generate an amendment to your RFP.
right, we could do that. I'll meet him over there, see what he says.
Okay. I haven't written a letter to the Northfield Selectmen yet about getting together to meet with them. I thought I'd have it. I would like to add on the top list of things to discuss the community services program, if there's reason to overload them with too much at that meeting.
Community Services Program.
To explain to them how the town of Tilton participates in the community services program for court-ordered community service work, and
Yeah,
how
why
all
not?
of our participants, with the exception of one, have been local residents. So maybe they want to get on board.
Yeah, exception of two.
I don't know,
No.
they've been very excellent sources of labor. Maybe we don't want to share.
Is,
The first one was,
yeah, I know, but the one over there,
All that sweeping I've seen is going to have to be redone next week, so we might as well.
the Mercedes, what's
It
his,
is what it is.
kid, the basketball.
it was Northfield,
He was
Weathersfield, he lived in Weathersfield.
on that road up by, in back of, okay.
No, he was Northfield.
I thought he was on the line. I guess they are. Okay.
We need to get together with them as soon as possible, because the main issue we have to resolve is the Island Park.
Island Park and the tanks.
Yeah, the Island Park is just very important. We have reservations, people want to use it, somebody's going to use it. Are those people going to use it tomorrow in spite of the storm?
Spoke to her this morning, and she said they're going to play it by ear and
Yeah.
snow.
I thought
Snowshoes?
I thought I saw it for Riverfront.
No, it was suggested, so,
It's still loaded with snow.
hey,
Then it's
I
gonna
go
be
over
worse
there with
tomorrow.
snowshoes on, I mean,
For a wedding?
sure.
All I can say, if the bride is wearing white, she could get lost.
But
Show up in your muck box?
we need to get it resolved, because people continuing to book the island. We have the park commissioners
No, I
hanging
left it here
on,
somewhere.
you know, what they need to do to maintain it. There's repairs that need to be done, trees that need to be trimmed.
Right.
They have all the estimates for that, which can be gotten.
Right,
And-
they have that all in their minutes.
Who?
The parks commission, their estimates for,
Those minutes are not approved.
on the, this is back when they were going through their budgeting.
Oh, well, they have actual estimates now for a lot of those things. Such as the maintenance, the summer maintenance, lawn, et cetera, et cetera. They have those estimates. In fact, they awarded the bid. The Belknap landscaping? And there's a bid in there for doing the work on the island? I mean, it's on hold, they've told everybody not to do it, but what I'm getting at is we have these cost estimates for doing this stuff.
You do, okay.
Well, the park commissioners do.
I have what they said needs to be fixed, and what they had budgeted in their budget.
Right, but they haven't gotten cost estimates for all of those things.
They haven't, okay.
So my point is, we need to get that resolved. I mean, if everything else has to kind of hang out there in limbo, we do need to
Focus
get...
on the island then.
Yeah, we need to get the Island Park issue straightened out.
Okay, and then the next thing, the right to know law request that you have received, we have all the documents. Our policy is he's requesting copies, we charge $1 a copy. Now, I do have all the information scanned, and I have his email address, so I can email him and tell him we have all the information here at the town hall and it's available.
Yeah, and come in and tell them the cost.
Or we could scan him copies.
Oh, you mean for the email? They just email them the information?
We would still charge for
Yeah.
scanning.
You charge $1 a page for scanning, too? Really?
Do we not, I mean, the documents he's requesting haven't been scanned yet?
Yes, they have been scanned. In fact, every opportunity I have, I scan.
That's so we have the record.
I understand that, but my problem with that is if you want an electronic format, we can send it to you. And then you can sit and click print on your own printer all day long if that's what you want.
But
If
there's-
you want us to provide you with paper copies, it's $1 a page.
There's an expense to have that person scan those documents
Yeah,
into
it
the
takes
computer.
time.
If we already have them in the computer.
Doesn't matter, they went in there
No, I disagree.
because of this request.
I disagree with it. If they were scanned because of this request, that's one thing.
That's why
And
they were
I
scanned.
agree with it.
That's why they were
But if we, as a
scanned.
matter of routine, every document that comes into this town hall is scanned, so we have it electronically as well as in paper, and we can provide you an electronic copy, then that's
That is
different.
not our policy. Joyce does it just so she has a complete record of things at her
But she
fingertips.
wouldn't have done
That is not
it.
our policy. All documents are not scanned, and we shouldn't make it our policy, because that's time-consuming.
No, but-
Joyce does it simply by choice. You're setting a precedent. This
you-
person wants copies.
you missed the point of what I was saying,
No, I didn't
Catherine.
miss the point. I didn't miss the point at all. But you're setting a precedent. We don't scan other people's,
Access all these things.
as a policy, we don't have every document
Right.
scanned into our computer and available that way.
No, but if I said, if as a matter of course, that's what we do. But apparently, we don't.
Right.
So
Well, and-
then it makes what I just
don't.
said moot.
Right, because she still has to scan it, it's still taking, we're paying her days.
Understood, and I have
See,
no problem with
The
that.
answer to that is Joyce does, so, because she likes to have those records available to her. It's not our policy to do that.
Right, well, I
If
thought
we
it
do
was.
send a scanned document, we charge $1. We let them know how much it was going to cost. Now, like when we used to do the town warrants, for that, though, we charged $100 because that took extra time because you had to actually create a report. But now everything's online, on our website, we don't have to do that anymore.
No. And anybody, well, only goes back, what's on our website only goes back to 2007, as far as town reports go.
Yep.
Well, in this particular case, we would not have even gotten these bids if it had not been for the 91A request.
Now, the other thing that's interesting is with the right to know law, we have 5 business days to respond to the request.
Well, that's not etched in stone. They want you to respond in 5 business days.
We have
but in
to respond.
No, you don't. In
Because-
all actuality, if you can't locate the records in 5 business
That's
days,
your response. Your response to
That's
that
correct.
is, I can't locate the documents.
or I'm having trouble gathering
Or
them.
it will take me 2
Or-
weeks to.
that's
find the
correct.
Documents, right. So we'll I'll send an email to him tonight, because we're still within the 5 business days, and our response is, we have the documents you requested, the minutes are available online, I can direct them to that. So
Make sure he knows that those are draft minutes. They won't be approved until the next meeting.
Right. But she should, when they put them online, they should say draft.
I told that to Vicki. She didn't realize that. She was
Yeah.
doing it as a courtesy because, and they've done that in the past because they only meet once a month.
Okay,
Right,
so the March minutes, the March 9th minutes are draft minutes.
right,
That's
they're
correct.
drafts.
They have not been approved by the board. They won't be approved until the meeting next week.
Well, the minutes of March 1st have been approved, because the minutes of March 9th say minutes of March 1st were
Right.
approved. So March 1st, we can go ahead.
March 1st are
I think
fine.
that's what he was asking for, was March 1st. Okay. I just, before I responded, I just wanted to make sure you knew we would give them those options. Okay. Lauren had given me the rest of the 2010 abatement requests. There are 3 that require, that she would recommend granted, the rest are denied. So did you want to look at the 3 that were granted and then wait on the denied? And I meant to go pull the original abatement request.
How do I know this name?
You don't know the name?
This is the last of the abatements?
How do I know that name?
All of the abatement
This one?
requests that we received for
Oh, the
2010.
Turchin.
That's also
3 that she's
the old
recommending to be granted.
dump, if you want to call it that. It's right there on Route 3 going towards the high school.
Okay.
And also Ernie's.
Oh, that's where I know it from. Okay.
And then we're confirmed for the 14th at 4:30 with Mark Lutter, Lauren, and Jim Robinson. And for MMG.
Right.
And then we have 2 appeals that are in litigation that we'll discuss in non-public tonight.
Okay.
I think as a matter of practice, we should notify the Budget Committee when we have abatements that are appealed. They don't have to be notified of every abatement request we got. But abatements, once we deny them, when they appeal them, it's like those in litigations, they don't, just an FYI that, generate a list.
Well, I do keep a list, that I update weekly.
That would be great. Just as an FYI to let them know, because sometimes these abatements have an interesting effect, depending on who they are.
Did you sign this?
I have some questions.
We can send this to them once a month.
That would be
and-
great.
I mean, I can calculate what the potential exposure is.
I think whatever you normally generate, just as an FYI, send it to their chair.
Yeah, this is how I track.
That's excellent.
Okay.
I thought we took care of this.
That's what she's saying, we did, so we don't understand why they didn't get a tax bill. I double-checked, and they did not receive a tax bill.
She's questioning why they didn't get a tax bill.
No, she's saying she thought it was all taken care of, that the selectmen had gone ahead and granted a permanent exemption to them.
Did they ever get anything in writing from us that said that?
Yeah, they got their abatement.
Then somebody should call them up
They didn't
and,
get a tax bill.
somebody should call them up and say, what are you doing? They may have just done this just as a matter of course because there was that huge discussion about it. The fact that they didn't qualify, and according to Lauren, didn't think they fell under that charitable definition.
Right,
But the Board of Selectmen disagreed.
right, because the selectmen have
So
assessed-
maybe they're kind of uncomfortable about that, and they filed just because
These aren't
they're
marked
being
denied.
cautious. But somebody should have a conversation with them.
Granted, and then
Why am I signing these then? Oh, this one is denied.
Do you know what this is about?
This one.
I know what
Oh,
I
Selectmen
do now
stamp
that
is
when
over
you
this
said
one,
it,
okay.
this is regarding the sign.
I don't remember exactly why.
These are the original. Sign these
Why
original.
was?
This is,
They're all denied.
The
they're
granted
fraternal.
ones.
these are the ones Lauren signed.
Yeah,
Charitable,
those are the
they do
denials.
charitable works.
I gave you 3 that she
They're not for profit.
granted, but those were the copies.
Oh, okay,
But
so
then again,
these are
there's a lot of
the
Those are the
originals?
original
Places that would be not-for-profit.
No, this
that
is denied.
Would be taxable,
Okay.
have a not-for-profit corporation.
Oh, so this
You have
one,
to pay tax.
I had given you
Real
copies.
estate, you won't.
That's right, okay, I see.
Because we have to check and make sure that they,
I don't view these guys as a charitable organization.
Oh, so here's the
necessarily,
Hussman.
Although they do charitable
One.
work, it's not all of them.
because there's one
They
of
don't do
those in
anything
here.
for profit.
That's okay?
yeah, these are okay.
Okay.
All right.
You know what I mean? What do they do for
They
profit?
don't have anything they can show on their books, no, but I know Masons, and a lot of business is transpires.
But these are the same thing as what we've
grandfather
already
was a
signed,
Mason.
aren't you?
There you go.
But as an
He was a
organization,
heck of a business guy.
but that had nothing to do with his association as a Mason.
Giving them a tax exemption, it just, I don't know. That was before my time.
Right.
It is what it is.
This one is just an FYI. Back in February, there was an accident where a driver, it was during a snowstorm, ran into the plow truck and bent the rim, and an accident report
At
was...
the rim of the plow
Plow
truck?
truck,
A wheel rim?
wheel rim.
Okay.
It must have been quite an impact.
Yeah, I'm sure they
The
got it
plow
worse
truck
than the truck
wheel
did.
rim was bent. What hit it?
Oh, the plow truck? Was it hit by Boston and Maine Railroad?
Couldn't have been a Hyundai.
I bet that Hyundai is done.
And what happened was, is so Dennis submitted the repair estimate to the insurance company of the guy that hit the truck, and the insurance company wrote back and said, we're denying the claim. So I submitted it to our insurance company, and our insurance company is now pursuing it.
I
Why is
mean,
Josh?
My Kia Rio
In the
fold up like a
police.
cheap suitcase if I hit a June bug.
Yeah, my Geo would have been done, totaled, bent the rim on the plow truck, totaled the Geo. Aveo. It's all the same.
Oh, I see. Aluminum wheel rim. Doesn't tell you what the vehicle was.
Plow trucks are running aluminum wheel rims.
Well, he's got Unit 1, Unit 2. I'm not sure if it's the pickup or...
It seems unlikely they have aluminum rims somehow. Maybe the pickup.
I'm almost done.
This really irks me. We pay time off, and we don't do this to our regular employees in town hall. When we give paid time off during the week, and
I don't know what it is.
but they get their overtime.
Well, because they're saying that they're called in either for shift coverage or court time.
Detail hours.
You shouldn't be getting
Detail hours, no way. Are you saying detail hours are generating some overtime?
Detail hours, 4.
and that generated overtime or just detail? I think that's 40 hours regular and 4 hours of detail.
What's the detail for?
Oh, my God.
Where's all the overtime?
Town meeting?
I'm trying to figure
Signed all
out,
those.
I thought we exchanged them for those other ones.
No, I gave them back, you already started signing.
Oh, I thought this was a bigger pile, I'm happy.
Okay, so this is overtime, right? 8 hours, 40, and then overtime hours, 8, cover shift.
I had this in the selectmen's FYI last week, I don't know if the selectmen read that, and as you know, responded to it, it's about the political science.
Yes, we did read it, and we don't want to respond to it.
What is that? What are we not responding to?
Kevin Walden's.
This gentleman had left a note with Cindy saying he was interested in the planning board, so I would go ahead and send him one of the application forms to fill out.
Sure. Yep.
I believe he talked with Catherine and myself on this, and we gave the name to Cindy.
Yep.
Yoo-hoo.
I'm going to give it to you. I just,
I'll go ahead and send him a form.
Yep.
I think we should respond to this.
I read it last week. Why didn't you respond to it then?
I have no idea. Maybe because it was a little confusing last week. I'm just
Last
saying,
week was confusing.
I'm just saying we should respond to him and simply say him thanks for bringing it to our attention, but I suggest you contact the school district.
Oh,
Otherwise,
it wasn't on town
for
property.
the next town meeting that's coming up soon,
It wasn't on town
Yeah, if he
property.
wants
What
to
am
it
I-
was on town property.
The attention of the planning board, if it comes back in time and we can talk about it.
Oh, this.
It might be,
Let 'em
because
know
we
it's on
have
school
one member
property,
on
so
the board
don't-
that's not
Let's see.
there.
Contact the proper authority.
The sign that I confiscated, I signed Joe Jessman to it, and I stuck it in the snowbank
not-
out in front of my house.
Yes.
Joe
But, I
Jessman, the
don't
sign
know
said.
anything
No,
that you
I don't know what RFP was, but
Lengthy, or,
She'll be out for a while, a couple of weeks.
yeah. But I mean, she might not miss much on the planning board, is what I'm getting at. We only meet once a month, so.
his issues
But if
had
nothing
to
else,
do
we
with
can
the
make him an
sign.
alternate.
You want this back?
You need to make a motion.
So, okay, fine.
It's by email, right?
Yeah.
Like, just simply do him the courtesy of thanking him, but property is under the jurisdiction of the
Oh, that's
school
right.
district.
But I mean.
Not the Tilton
we- but I-
Selectmen. Something of
I
that
thought we signed
effect.
it last week.
We didn't know she was going to continue.
Oh, okay. That's right. While we're speaking about that, I think I told all of you that Sarah Paratori elected to stay on the board, so we got her paperwork filled out, and I just need a motion by the board so that we can
I'll
sign it.
make a motion
So
to
moved.
sign it and keep her
I
and
would
do whatever
love
we
to
need.
second that one.
For life.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Absolutely.
I believe that's in there too, isn't it? Because I know it needs to select, in the to be
Tell her
signed.
we said thank you, and thank you.
Oh, I
Her
did.
service to the town is greatly appreciated. I've worked with her on the planning board for like 10 months or whatever, and she...
I'm
knows-
signing payroll under protest. Please note that in the records. 30 hours of overtime. Unconscionable.
Oh, we don't have it.
Good thing we hired some part-timers to fill
I
it.
think it's already signed, it's just that,
The
Yeah, so
selectmen-
why isn't it taking
Okay.
effect?
Because they're in training.
Are they still?
Are they out of training this week?
I think next week's their last week.
All right. And then we're not going to see 30 hours of overtime, right?
They'll be spread out across the week so that it takes the edge off.
All right.
They're killing us.
You're gone starting next week?
Is that down?
Oh, yeah, this is it. All right, we have an answer to our question about the employees'
Handbook,
The TPPEM,
the TPPEM. And Pete,
Personnel Policy and Employee Manual.
we asked a question to Peter Phillips, who, for your knowledge, Joe, because you're the newbie, who did the police contract negotiations with us. We asked him to help us with the employee manual
Yeah, I saw the
so
email.
that we can review it and see what we can do to clean some of that language up. So what he's saying is that he would be pleased to conduct a complete review. It's $170 an hour, and it's probably going to take about 8 hours. He said the length of time would be similar to the review he conducted on the CBA last October, which was about 8 hours. He said he's sensitive to the town's budget constraints and would focus on legality and consistency. So, and then, last year we paid him to look at. He did fix up a couple of the items in the employee's manual in regards to the contract that we had to fix, and we made motions according to that. There were 2, I think, but we actually fixed 3. One wasn't really, one was ours, but, so I'd love to see it get cleaned up with some ideas, and also change the bereavement time.
Right.
The other thing he recommended is, once you review it and make all the changes that you want to make, print an entirely new policy.
And then have him review it?
No.
Oh, and then after, and then just print the whole thing?
The whole new one.
And-
Throw out the old one.
And then shred the rest of them. I got it, yeah. I agree with that.
Similar to like with this new collective bargaining.
That way you
agreement,
don't-
it's a whole new document. I mean, we'll keep it for historical purposes, but.
Right.
Because that will make it easier than each single amendment having to go and make sure everybody signs it.
Right.
I'm definitely in favor of having Peter look over that. Do we have,
I'll second that.
okay, motion's
Yes.
been made and second.
Is $170 a reasonable fee for an attorney in this case?
It is reasonable. Dan Crean's $145, and he's a municipal lawyer, so it's anywhere between $145 and $200, $250.
Seems like $1,400 is a lot of money to me personally.
Is that a not to exceed 8 hours?
Well, why can't we put it in there? He's saying it's about 8 hours, so.
I don't know if it would take, I mean, that's what he did for the collective bargaining agreement.
Well, I wouldn't want him to come back at 14 hours.
That's why he said he's particularly sensitive to the town's.
But that's just nice talk. There's nothing in there that precludes him from going to 12, 15, 16 hours on it.
We
You
could
know what I
make-
mean?
We
So-
could include that in the motion, that we would accept the 8 hours, and that if they're not to exceed 8 hours, there's additional time needed, then the board has to vote on it.
Right.
But then, if you do that, then he'll know that we've got a little wiggle room there.
But then the other problem is, I wouldn't want him to use all the 8 hours. So how do we do this?
Well, we could ask him to keep us
Right.
apprised of the hours.
Maybe if we just send him a note that it's a little longer than we anticipated, we would appreciate, what does he say? His,
We appreciate his focus on legality and consistency and budget,
no, I'm
and
second
have the
Our
town's
budget
budget constraints in mind.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe a note of that, something like that,
Yeah.
letting him know that it was a little more than we anticipated.
Right.
Well, I attached the expenditure reports. You know how much we've spent to date in legal, and what's eating up our legal line items is the appeals. Mark Puffer
Right.
But we're almost done with him, so.
Yeah, can't wait. All right, a motion's been made and seconded to have Peter Phillips look at the employee's manual. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
No. You didn't ask,
Opposed?
but I thought
I
you
was
were
going to
moving
ask.
on.
I'm
Oh, I'm
getting
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry.
All those opposed?
No.
Okay.
This is a status report on the underground storage tank. Joe was able to attend part of the meeting. Kevin, I'll give you this after. What I passed out is a summary of the meeting last Tuesday. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 11th at 10 o'clock. There is a copy of the agreement showing the changes. The two items that are still outstanding are section 7 and 8, which I believe he italicized those. Yes, 7 and 8 have not been resolved yet, which is the fund. And we did our best to present to the group. In attendance were Joe, myself, Glenn Smith, Bob Southworth, who is their Public Works Director. Dennis couldn't attend that morning, and I knew the chief was busy getting ready for his trip, but John Chase and Richard Hand, he's the building facilities manager for the school district. We're all in attendance. Yeah. Cheryl Soma was not feeling well that day, so she didn't attend. And what we tried to get agreement on was having one fund. So either have a capital reserve fund, one capital reserve fund, or one special revenue fund, and either let Northfield have the fund, manage the fund, or let the school district manage the fund, as long as we had one fund. So we couldn't find agreement on that. So we said, well, we'll invite DRA to come to our meeting. And I had suggested even getting her supervisor to come, since this is intermunicipal. And they said that they were short-staffed and they wouldn't be able to do it, but that they would put their thoughts in writing, and which is the last page that you have, the one that's to whom it may concern, suggesting that we do a 53A agreement, which I want to go on record as saying that was what I had originally proposed. I had even sent a sample saying this is the route we should go, and so it's funny how we've come full circle again.
Have you written down your proposal you made a few weeks ago?
No, I did it verbally, that we should have one fund. That we were in agreement that, this is a capital asset that we've all invested in, and that we need accountability, we need transparency, we need to have the fund set up so that it's flexible to be able to withdraw the funds for the maintenance of it, and that whatever agreement we come up with, that it's clear and concise so that when we're all gone, that we know who's responsible for what.
Well, Tilton shouldn't be paying into a fund that's at the discretion of the Northfield voters to spend.
Or not. That wasn't his proposal. His proposal is...
That's what they have right now.
His proposal is that if any maintenance issues come up, heaven forbid somebody should back over the pumps, we can't get the money out of the surcharges with the funds the way they are allocated now.
That's right, that's what I'm saying.
Therefore, Northfield puts up the money to replace them. All well and good, except for they can't get that money back until there's a meeting of the town meeting, or the Winnisquam Regional School District meeting, which was my issue. It doesn't seem fair to me. Mr. Smith declared that it was fine with the Northfield Selectmen, and he thought that it was just fine. It seems like that would leave them holding a potentially very large bag. But they seem to be wide awake and eyes open going into this. I don't want to argue with them. If they want to hold the bag, okie dokie, I guess. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's not, I tried to raise the issue and it didn't seem well received. Okay. I got the feeling that they thought that Tilton was trying to lecture Northfield about what was good for them. And that certainly was not my intention on any level. At all. I just want, if it was me that was potentially holding the $50,000 sack, the tank ruptured or whatever, I would want to be able to access the surcharge accounts because that's what they're there for, as opposed to paying them out of the general revenue.
You know what? Why doesn't Tilton create their own fund and put their portion of the surcharge into it?
Well,
Then it's held
That
by
makes three
Tilton.
funds.
it's
It
just,
doesn't matter. Well, why would
It's a
Tilton
school
voters
district.
put their funds into a fund in Northfield that's at the
put it in the
discretion?
district.
We're not a district. That's different. We're part of the school district. We're part of that vote. We're not part of the Northfield town meeting vote. We are not a district. Tilton should hold their funds.
Choice, who's the
Northfield should
trustee of
hold
those funds?
their funds. The Tilton trustees would be the trustees of our fund.
They're the trustees of that
Northfield.
fund.
But
Are
they're
they not?
still,
Yeah.
doesn't matter who the trustees are. The fund, currently, as it stands, is at the discretion of the Northfield voters.
Right.
Tilton's monies should not be going to another town to be at the discretion of their voters.
right, the
Those funds-
expenditure of those funds is at the request for the expenditure of the funds comes from the committee, which is the jurisdictions.
It's
Well,
not the voters.
If
the
we
voters
set
could
it
say-
up,
Oh,
but
that's
the
the way it's-
voters have the final say.
Correct.
Doesn't matter who requests the monies. The Northfield voters have the final say over what happens to those monies that Tilton's put in there.
By the same
And I'll tell you
token-
right now, what I'm worried about is Tilton put into a building fund for years for the Recreation Council. Our monies went into building a building in Northfield. Where's our building fund money when that building went nonprofit?
I don't know anything about that.
That's right. Our Tilton's monies should not be at the discretion of the Northfield voters. We are not a district.
Now,
We
I've
are
got a-
two separate municipalities. We should just have our own reserve fund, or whatever. They're easy to set up.
Right, but that was one of the problems, that say something, one of the pumps breaks, one of the hoses or one of the gauges, it's going to be $3,000 to replace. Then you have to sit there and think, okay, now, which fund do we go to get the money from that? Okay, well, right now, the way it's set up is you have to wait for a school district meeting to withdraw the money because the fund wasn't set up with agents, okay? Or you have to wait, and Northfield would have to wait and get reimbursed through their special revenue fund. So it's just, so which do you use? That's why we were saying it would just be easier to have one fund that is set up with an agreement.
And those funds are easy. If you set them up correctly in the beginning, if we set up a fund, the Board of Selectmen and Tilton are the agents of that fund. You're not waiting till town meeting. How long is it going to take for those surcharges to build up if you have some catastrophic event over there? And right now, there's no fund.
Yes, there is.
Well, there's a fund at the discretion of the Northfield voters, okay?
Well, no.
It can only be used for one thing,
We have the diesel
replacement of
surcharge.
the tank.
It's still at the discretion of the Northfield voters. The town of Tilton's monies should not be sent to another municipality to be at the discretion of their voters.
Right, but the discretion...
That should
of
not
their-
take place.
Right, the discretion of their voters is restricted to what it can be spent on. And the only way it can be spent on is by the people agreeing to spend
It
that
should
money.
not
It's still
happen. We are
at the
not a
discretion
district.
whether or not they agree or disagree.
Yeah,
That's what she's
happens-
getting at.
What happens with the Northfield voters?
No, well, then
Northfield is the one putting the money up.
Northfield's the one that's stuck.
They'd only be stuck if the Tilton Board of Selectmen said, we're not going to help you pay for that, even though we've used it all these years.
We've already paid our money by the surcharge. It's in a fund.
We already
We're
paid
paying
it.
surcharges
for that
to the Winnisquam
purpose.
Regional School District.
diesel.
For diesel.
Yeah.
We are not paying surcharges for the other half of the tank, which is, the whole thing's
Well,
ridiculous.
that's why we're saying it should be one fund.
And
whole
why
thing's
don't we pay,
ridiculous.
why don't we pay the gasoline surcharge? Just out of
For the
curiosity.
reasons
Because
I,
we don't have an agreement.
yeah,
We don't
because
have an
this is
agreement.
something
This
that
is something
Northfield
new.
just came up with. And again, I'm going to repeat it again.
didn't
Tilton's
tell us.
monies should not be sent to another municipality to be at the discretion of their voters. I don't care what it's for. That should not take place. It's one thing for us to send it to the district that we belong to, but not a separate municipality.
Well, what if we made the district hold the money?
Well, that's what we.
Well, you've got one, the other thing too
Who's
is
the
that
district?
School district.
the other thing that drives me nuts is we're talking about one tank.
On the fire
One
district land.
Tank on fire district land
fire
that has a
district has
baffle
since
and it
added
has
it to
two
their-
sides,
School district has it, so it has a site.
you know? So, Northfield's coming up with this surcharge. I'm sorry, you don't want me at those meetings because it won't be pretty.
Well, how are we going to replace the tank if it ruptures?
Well, right now, we're paying a surcharge to the Winnisquam Regional School District for this
Right, but
tank.
the problem is it's not enough money. We need to increase the amount of money.
Yes.
And we need to correct the language of that.
Bingo. There you go.
Well, that's what these meetings are all about.
Right. So what we've been putting forth is one fund that I would prefer to be a capital reserve fund with agents to expend.
We already have the fund, you're right, at the Winnisquam Regional School District. Change the wording.
Northfield buys the gas, and Winnisquam buys the diesel. That's why it was split up the way it was. And it's been like that for 10 years. Northfield's been maintaining the tank. Northfield does the walkthrough with the environmental people, and Northfield orders the gasoline, blah, blah, blah.
Billing.
And they do the billing. And the agreement, the way it's written now, you notice nobody signed it, but the agreement, the way it's written now, it's just an extension of the agreement that we've had informally all along. It's not written in stone. We just want to make it fair for everybody. I don't care who's got the money as long as it goes to the right purpose. Hey, I send most of my money to Concord, and I get nothing back. We're getting diesel and gasoline out of that tank, and it's on fire district property.
So that's where we are with that.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere.
I think the water district understands, and I think the fire district understands.
I
and
honestly
the
think that
school
this thing
understands.
should be taken care of by a committee that's made up of one member of the governing body of each district that is using that.
I think they're making
One
it-
selectman from Tilton, one from Northfield, a school board member, a fire commissioner, and a water commissioner. And you've got a committee of 5 that can oversee this damn thing.
Well, that's what this is calling for. In fact, we changed it, instead of a governing committee, we
They're
changed.
making something that it really doesn't need to be this complicated.
No, I agree
Two
with that.
surcharges.
The only thing that's complicated is the trust mechanism, getting that set up. Everything else is pretty clear on who does
You have
what.
one
It's
tank,
just
it's on fire district property, it isn't even on Northfield property.
Well, right.
Winnisquam Regional School District, I mean,
Well, no, it should be, I mean,
But Northfield owns the
encouraging
pump.
cooperation for things such as
Yeah,
this, where
and
everybody benefits.
maintains it. It's just,
So
the
you
way it
just
was
need
set
to
up
make
is
it
just,
Tilton's got a siphon over.
That's all.
it is what it is.
it's far more convoluted than it needs to be.
Right. And no one has disagreed with increasing the amount. And no one has disagreed with reimbursing for the, if something breaks during the year, it needs to be replaced. No one disagrees with that. It's just, how are you going to,
No,
what's the mechanism?
when the tank failed and this one was replaced, there was no written agreement. When the tank failed, those involved came and paid for
Right.
their portion of the repair of that tank.
So that we could continue having
That's right.
access to this fuel depot. So we were all invested in it, we're still invested in it.
Right.
Now, did they pay according to their,
Usage.
Okay.
Right now, it's based upon usage for diesel. It's 2 cents a gallon.
and the school has the highest amount of use?
Yes,
Oh, God,
for
yes.
diesel, yep. And then, so what Northfield is proposing, because at the rate that we're putting the surcharge in for diesel, it won't cover tank replacement. That was the whole idea behind it.
Why don't we just increase the darn rate on the diesel and not worry about it?
Hello, we said that about 4 weeks ago.
Well, we should include gas. I don't know why gas wasn't included. We had said it should be included, and there's documentation in the
Well,
gas
and
how
it should all be
gas
going,
used.
it should all be going into the same bucket.
Correct.
Whether that bucket is through the school district, held in, with the mechanisms already there, the capital reserve fund is already there, it should all go into the same bucket. Why is there some going into one bucket and then another going into another bucket?
Nothing from us is going into the other bucket. It doesn't matter if it's diesel or gas. It should be gallons. Of whatever somebody pulls out of that tank, whether it's diesel or gas, the surcharge should be based on gallons.
It is, but nothing's been charged on the gasoline usage. So what was proposed at the...
And whatever that
Years ago,
surcharge is, it should be
5
the,
cents on the gasoline and 5 cents on the diesel, because the school district doesn't use any gasoline. They use...
Right, it's
primarily-
whatever gallons you pull out of either side of the tank,
Right.
there's a surcharge of 5 cents.
Right. And it should go to the same place, that's all.
We have the fund at the district, which we all belong to, which all of our residents get a vote in, except for Samberton, but they're part of the school district.
Right, both Tilton and Northfield residents are part of the school district.
Right.
Because what will still have to happen if you stay with using the capital reserve fund is every year at the school district meeting, they will have a warrant article, because you can only appropriate money into a capital reserve fund. So every year, they would budget whatever we estimate
But
the,
can't they change the fund?
no, for the capital reserve fund, capital
They
reserve
haven't-
funds, you appropriate money into.
Why
they
can't we-
haven't done that to date.
Why,
This money has been going into that capital reserve fund since it was created.
Yes.
And I have not seen any subsequent warrant articles on the school district warrant saying
Appropriating money
to
into-
appropriate money
They
into
should be.
that.
They should be. That's
We
one of the
weren't, we
things
didn't for years, until what, 2 years ago?
No, we've been appropriating since 2000.
No.
Through the surcharge.
No, right. In our capital
Oh, yes.
reserve funds, we got
Right.
slapped on the wrist 2,
Right.
3 years ago?
No, well, they really came down this past year.
Okay.
Right, and the
So,
same with the school,
we were.
yes. Every year, they should have, you appropriate money into a capital reserve fund. So we have to talk to the school district and say...
They haven't been slapped yet.
So they've been
Right now, I think
remiss
we're
in,
talking $1,500 a year right now. So they would have a line item to raise and appropriate $1,500 to go in, and then
and it
that's
just,
based on the revenue that they collect.
right, and not all of it's money in, money out, because they have their own portion that,
Right, yes, some of their own goes in. Right. But right now, so we have to correct that, and we also have to have agents so that you can withdraw the money, because otherwise you have to wait for a school
Right.
district meeting vote to withdraw them.
Your agents should be school board member and governing body members of each town, and a commissioner from the fire district,
and water.
And the water
and the water
district.
You
district.
could make those the agents, correct?
Those are the agents. Then the only other issue would be the billing. Take Northfield out of the billing.
Well, we offered that. We said, if you don't want to do the billing, we'll ask the school if they'll do the billing. They have a full-time business office staff.
You know what I think?
Why don't you
Is
ask
We
the
need to
school?
talk with the selectmen from Northfield. We met,
We need to talk with the school.
I would ask the school district
with
if they would
somebody.
be willing to take over the billing for all of the fuel.
Right.
But then if they would, because if they say no, then it's mute. But if they say yes, then you can go to Northfield and say, look, the school district is willing to take over all the billing. We belong to the district, all of us. I mean, that's really a
When you say
simple.
the billing, then that was the other thing that came up. Did you want, we could ask the school too, is that would they budget for all of the gas?
You presented that as an option, but that didn't go very well, as I recall.
Why not? It's an in
Didn't go
and
very
an out.
well with
In and out.
They're doing half of it anyway, why not the other half of the tank?
Representatives at the table.
I would contact the school district and see if they'd be willing to do just that.
Because Glenn's argument was, which when I spoke to Shelley said, I don't think so. And I said, I'll be glad to talk to an accountant or an auditor. Glenn was saying that who's ever buying the gas and billing for the gas has to collect the revenue and the surcharge for that. And I said,
No, he said they should.
great, then see
They
if
should. We order the gas, we collect the gas, we measure for the gas, we bill for the gas.
Yeah, we
They
can't-
wanted
we
to do it
can't
that way. He wanted to do it that way.
surcharge and send it to another jurisdiction. I'm like, well,
That's what we're doing.
with the diesel.
And that's
That's
what we're
why-
doing with his gasoline fund if we participate.
That's why it would be even better if the school district would just do it all.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the simplest solution.
That's all part of putting it all into one bucket.
Well, that's what I would prefer, is to see it all in one account that can be accessed at the time of an emergency by a governing body of commissioners
And
or
have your
whatever, the
agents to
tank
expend.
commission.
Why don't you put this in writing, what we just proposed? Would you mind contacting the school district to see if they would do that? And then,
I think we should talk with the business manager and see, and then from there, talk with the
What business manager?
Cheryl, so.
at the
Okay.
school.
At the school,
See if they
okay.
will do that, see if we can pull that together. And
Because
then,
either way, we're going to have to make some changes
Right.
in the 2012 meeting.
if they will, that's the best solution.
But I had difficulty trying to explain why, I think everybody understood why
Most
Tilton
everybody.
hadn't signed the agreement yet. It was, we're not disagreeing about the surcharge or even the amount, once we agree on that. It's just that why would we send money without an agreement?
I wouldn't send money to Northfield anyway,
I said, we don't, any vendor.
not to be at the discretion of their voters. I would challenge that that's against the law.
Well, that's basically what Glenn is saying, because they're controlling the asset, they are paying for the gas, therefore they should control the surcharge.
Although I don't know what difference it makes, because the surcharge is to be wholly used for the repairs and replacement of that tank.
Yeah, it can't be used for anything else. Just like a capital reserve, you can't take a capital reserve fund and expend it.
That's not the issue. The issue is that it's at the discretion of their voters, our money.
Well, can I make a request then that Joe continue to go to these meetings with me?
When's the next one?
2 weeks from Tuesday, so that's whatever day it
When?
was.
Maybe we all should go.
That's what I'm thinking, the 19th? 2 weeks from Tuesdays, either the 12th or the 19th.
What time?
I would say it's the 19th.
What time, Joyce? We'll all show up.
Tell them to hold on to their seats.
Maybe
Want a
it's,
story, be at the town hall on the 19th. That would be a Tuesday.
it's Tuesday the 12th, correct?
Tuesday is the 19th, or Tuesday's the 12th,
I think it's the 12th. I'll confirm.
either way.
I'll be
Let
back.
me know.
Joyce, I think you
Or
said
maybe-
What
I come
time?
back the 11th, I'll be here.
I'm sure it's at
You
10.
said the 11th, 10 o'clock,
Yeah, that's what,
I'm going to put
underground tanks.
I'm going to put it under the
It's a Monday.
12th, 10
That would
o'clock.
be a new thing.
that's what I have.
That's what you said before. It's what I wrote down.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's the 12th.
It's the 12th, not the
I'll
11th.
confirm it.
12.
Tuesday, the 12th, 10 o'clock, Northfield, surcharge.
Or Monday,
All
the
right, can
11th.
you be sure to try to get your answers from the school before that meeting? Because I won't be at the meeting on the 7th. So,
Well, we should get Scott Davis and Tom Blanford as well.
They are commissioners for their respective.
yes,
Scott was at the first one, and Tom wanted to come to this second one, but he had another appointment.
Somebody's going to be representing the school district.
Carol, the business manager.
I would get them there.
Okay.
Got more?
And the only other thing is,
As soon as you get the proposal, I'm sorry, in writing, would you get it to me?
yes,
Thank you.
I think this is what Catherine, you had requested, this is from Dennis, so.
Yep, I talked to him the other day. He said that he would have something.
This, I believe, is in your FYI.
What is your, what about the Best Way contract, though? Didn't you go out?
Oh, and follow the trucks? Oh, Dennis did, yes. I asked him about that, and he said, I said, is there anything you want me to report tonight? And he said, no, he'd like to wait a couple weeks. It really isn't that bad, of people that are over 5 bags, but he has identified.
Okay.
He said he was going to be coming in on the 14th to talk with the board about his bids for his street cleaning. Will
okay.
there be time for him on the 14th? You're having your public hearing on the,
That's life safety.
Yeah.
And we have Cropsey.
30.
It shouldn't take long.
No, Dennis's shouldn't take too long.
You're getting a backlog of things to
He
sign.
just gives us his bids and what he recommends.
and he could talk about the garbage,
Right.
When?
the 14th. So,
Wow. Why isn't that spread around?
I told you. I signed it under protest. Cropsey, you know, is going to take time.
That's going to be at least an hour and a half.
That's at least an hour and a half. We have public, plus we have everything else, admin, and we have life safety, which we know is a very volatile situation. It could go either way. Could nobody show, or could everybody show? A week before town meeting.
I don't know if Dennis will have his bids by the 7th,
The 21st, too late?
21st.
21st, we're not meeting. That's town meeting.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Do we want to meet on Tuesday, the 19th, instead?
I think he wants to get sweeping.
Yeah, I know, he wants to get his project done. Well, what about if we, once he got all of his bid, if we just gathered long enough to sit down with him and go over?
We can have a meeting either the 18th or 19th, and we can just have that specifically for a few items that,
Why not have a meeting on the 15th in the morning?
Yeah, Friday morning on the 15th.
that's fine.
Just a,
At 11 o'clock, so
At
I could be
11
there.
o'clock?
I can't be there
Yeah.
until
Make it 11 o'clock and we'll sit down, and it'll just
I
be
have one
Dennis.
lousy job.
11 o'clock is fine with me.
So that's 11 a.m., April 15th?
Whatever happened, Fridays are sacred.
Yeah.
Friday nights.
Well, the other thing is if he gets his,
Say 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. would be-
if he gets his stuff in and he can bring it in on the 7th, we
Yeah.
could do it on the 7th.
Right, we could do that. The 7th is wide open, so
Yeah,
we
he
can
had
do
said
that.
the 14th, I said, Dennis, I said, I think that'll.
Have to be in the morning if he wants to do it on the 7th and have me there.
We have, okay, so that's...
So am I
that's
crossing
that.
out the 11 o'clock on the 15th?
Well, why don't we leave it there, and that'll be like a backup in case he can't come in on the 7th.
Oh, yeah, he's got to
Yes.
get his stuff out and get bids. Well, he should be all right with that.
Yeah, if he's got his bids, we'll do it on
7th?
the 7th and
Maybe.
cancel the 11th.
Maybe.
15th,
No, leave the 15th until next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
I guess it does.
And you're going to write an answer to the 91A request?
Do
Right,
that, right.
okay, and, wait a minute, hold on. There's something
looking
else
for?
I'm supposed to be telling you. The board. Oh, Mike's, we have an appraisal. Drum roll, please.
Come in.
This is for 179 East Main Street, Tilton.
Oh, from Mike?
Building condition. It is my opinion that the property is above average condition, although the property is inadequate for its current use. This property has been well cared for and appears to be structurally sound. First floor consists of 2 half baths, of which is ADA compliant, a reception lobby area, 6 office spaces, and 2 other conference rooms. The lower basement is a combination of finished and unfinished space. The finish is approximately 1/3 of the total basement area. The lower level has a conference area, 2 full baths, and a large unfinished suitable for storage. Although the lower level is finished, I did identify an immediate life safety issue in regards to the lack of egress. Huge life safety issue.
Your conference thing.
Where we were having all our negotiations. When you come down the stairs and you take a left to go into the conference room, lunch room, where all of the policemen kind of congregate for training and so on and so forth, well, in between there is the boiler room. If something happened in the boiler room, if it smoked or blew up or whatever, there's no egress. They're trapped in that room. Totally trapped.
Police station.
Police station, existing police station.
Yeah.
So, listing,
What does the amount on this equate to? That's a horrendous mistake. Is this one going to do, oh, what have I got, 2 of them?
Oh, yeah, this is the one that was
pass that
taken out
down
of
so
current
they can
use?
see it.
Yeah, by them. By a mistake of, I'm going to start keeping a list.
Well, what's unfortunate is that she lost this for 2009. There's nothing we can do about 2009. It wasn't discovered until 2010.
It's unconscionable.
Can I see that again?
But what does that equate to in dineros?
Well, she has it on there, $5,000.
That's what I was looking for, I didn't see it. See that?
Okay, these I haven't calculated because I don't know if the board's going to approve them.
We'll pencil it in. Put a sticky on it.
Yeah, if you look on the first line where it says $5,000,
Okay, there it
That's
is.
the tax rate times the value difference. This is what she paid taxes on when she didn't have to pay taxes on. But she paid that in 2009, but there's nothing we can,
I assume this is the
and she
same.
was nice about it. Well, first of all, I would have noticed if all of a sudden I got a tax bill for $5,000.
And
Would
is-
you questioned it? Wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't expecting.
What is this one?
That's the one where, is that the same person?
It's the same person, but it's
Yes, because the-
.8. It's not even an acre.
Right, that's Ernie's.
Uh-huh.
Because the building, there's
Catherine didn't sign that one, or
letters in
maybe
the
she doesn't want
file
to.
She's
from
not
the
going
code
to.
enforcement
Okay.
officer.
I don't
saying
agree
the
with that. I think you
was
should have
hazardous
gotten the
and
abatement.
dilapidated and was under order to be removed. So,
Okay, so
And
we
now it's
are,
really
Which
dilapidated.
one don't you agree with? Can I see that?
Christie. It goes back many years.
but he's received value reductions every year.
But not as he should have, in my own opinion. When he came forward and showed his income approach, having my own business, I understood, and there were things that they didn't allow that I didn't agree with, quite frankly. It just, I thought it was preposterous. So this is Ernie's. Because there's no explanation with Ernie's. Or did he get lost?
It's on the same, there's 2 of them on the same paper.
Well, my mouth fell open on the first part, so.
If you're done with the appraisal, can you pass that back, please?
Done with which?
Joe's, I think,
This?
I don't think it's gotten to Joe, has it?
No, I did.
Okay. I don't want to lose it.
Well,
Didn't the roof collapse
Yes.
after we
Yes.
purchased it?
Yes.
It collapsed in February, I believe.
As of April 1st. The condition of the building as of April 1st.
When did we purchase it?
no.
I thought we purchased it in January.
January 31st of 2011.
Right. And the roof collapsed, I thought, after we purchased it.
Yeah, in February.
Oh, February of 2011?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So what bearing would the roof collapse have to do with the property during the time that she owned it?
I think she was referring to the fact that the building, there was a letter in the property record card file that, from the code enforcement officer, saying that the building was hazardous and dilapidated and needed to be removed.
There was a portion of the roof collapsed prior to that. There's two different roofs. Portion of the garage, portion of it was collapsed
Oh, wait, when we
prior
bought
to
it?
that, right.
Yeah.
And then the other portion was, in 2011, there was the main portion of the building that was kind of still standing, that portion. Thank you.
I had asked Dennis, after one of our last Life Safety Committee meeting, the joint loss management committee staff meeting, I asked Dennis if he would put up some no trespassing signs, which he did.
Right, yeah. I noticed he's got a tape around it, too.
Someone come into town hall last week and asked if they could purchase the property.
Really?
I said, not a chance.
Too late.
Too late.
But they
Well,
want to
don't know.
store equipment on the side.
Well, there's just a couple million.
Yeah. Okay, Town of Tilton from the Town of Northfield. Ready, everyone? It's that time of year again. Time for the Tilton Northfield Old Home Day Parade.
Oh,
Woo!
okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's good. Okay.
The Old Home Day Committee would like to invite the Tilton Board of Selectmen to ride in our parade. We have a car reserved for you all to fill up. I think they need 2 cars for us to fill up.
Right?
Yeah.
So please come and join us for some great fun.
Some of us are large people.
Somebody really needs to get back to Peg Shepherd and spell my name correctly.
Did they really say they only have one car for us?
Yes, we have a car
It'd be
reserved
a
for
big
you
one.
for you all to fill up.
Is it a dump truck?
Let's not get silly now.
Well, you know, it was more fun riding in the back of that pickup truck
Yeah.
than riding
Yes,
that
it
car.
was.
Maybe
It
that's
was-
the car they're talking about.
Why don't we see if we can
Use it ahead.
get our own ride?
We can get anything we want. Don't worry about that. We can get anything we want. We want a pickup truck, we can get a pickup truck.
Let's do it.
We can do it.
We could get a Ford Explorer or something from the police department, maybe. We own one, don't we?
I'm not riding in a police vehicle
I was wondering if
I
you're
mean,
listening over here.
if we don't stripe it.
Guess who's
That
not
would be
riding in the
fine.
expedition?
Hey, I'm here to tell you that unless something bad happens, you won't catch me in a police car either. I have no plans on being in the back of a police vehicle.
So
Nothing personal,
did they give
Chief.
us the day?
Well, but let you
of the
ride in the
parade?
front.
They didn't do that.
June,
I looked in the front.
Yeah.
I haven't had it
25th
yet.
of June at 9 a.m. They want us to RSVP.
Take a ride. I'd love to go
No,
for a
go
ride
ahead.
with you sometime.
Tom is
I
not
haven't
big
had it
enough.
yet.
Joe,
Yes.
You have it.
what's her name? There's an extra one in the
Yeah,
refrigerator.
in the refrigerator, yeah.
What's your name?
Joyce, I'll call you by your
Damn.
Don't get me started here. Okay, here's, We lost Sandy on that one.
What are you drinking down there, Sandy?
We lost what's her name?
She just went over the rainbow.
Yeah, she hit the big one.
It's your fault.
May need KB contactor at next appointment. That really makes me feel safe. This is the vertical wheelchair lift. It says may need KB contactor at next PM.
What the heck does that mean?
Well, I know PM is preventative maintenance, but what's a KB contactor?
I'm glad you know PM is preventative maintenance, but no, I didn't know. Okay, so,
Well, it could have been the next afternoon from when that was written.
all right, here's urgent news to all the New Hampshire tax collectors. HB 457, the bill that reduces the interest rate in half for delinquent taxpayers, will be heard on April 5th at 10:15 a.m. at the Lobby 101 by the Public and Municipal Affairs Committee. Woo-hoo! We can,
Is that room 101 again?
yep, room 101.
What
The
time?
committee consists of 5 senators, and we need to concentrate on them first to get the committee to kill it. The 5 senators on the committee are listed below, along with the communities they represent in their email addresses. Please help us kill this bill. I have also attached some notes you can use to write a letter or help you speak directly to a senator. Jeannie Forrester, wow.
I think he's
David Booton,
with us.
Amanda Merrill, Nancy Stiles, David Fredette, and Jack Barnes.
And what time is this?
It's at
Can I copy it?
10:15 a.m. on April 5th. 4:57.
This is the one that the,
Is that the interest rate one?
Yes.
this is the one that our House of Representatives already passed by a vote that you can't tell who voted what.
They have that voting equipment there. It should be used for every darn issue. I don't care what it is. So that you can know how your representative voted.
A lot of times down there, the way the motions are, you don't know if the yes means no or no means yes.
Right.
That's neither here nor there as far as what my statement was. They should use that voting machine every time a vote is taken, even if it's to break for lunch.
Right.
Well, then your house records, because I can record all that.
Don't care.
But how else do you know how you're,
Pay money for that printing.
but how else do you know how they're voting? If
First
they-
off, they shouldn't have to print it. It should just be, I mean, I don't need to, unless somebody requests a breakdown, all they really need to put in is that it was
I saw this.
whatever to whatever. And if I say, well, I want to know how my representative voted, then I go down through and say, oh, okay, he voted no, or she voted yes, or whatever. But, I mean, that thing is there for a reason, and it shouldn't be bypassed on any kind of issue pertaining to law that affects the way the state is governed, the way towns are governed, the way people are governed. There's a reason that equipment was put in place, because when you got 400 people voting, you want to know who voted how. If it's your representative, because then you can go kick them in the butt if you don't agree with them.
They should know exactly how he voted, because they'll tell you anything you want to hear.
They are our
Election town.
representatives. That's the whole thing. They should be accountable to us.
Yes.
Most of their votes are done in just one sweep vote when bills are put on the consent calendar. So they're voting for 25 bills.
Yeah.
LOB
And
is
they
the
add
legislative
stuff
building.
into
It's not the
bills that have
Capitol.
nothing to do with them.
It's not the same room.
But, like when we were there, I mean, some of the things that get voted on are voice votes, so you have no way of knowing, how they voted.
They shouldn't be that way.
No. How else do you determine? Maybe they do it because, obviously, if you have a representative that is never championing any of your causes, chances are you won't vote for him again the next year, right? Or whenever he comes up for re-election. You want to know that whoever the area representatives are thinking and taking care of their area.
It's taking place in our...
You don't know that a lot of times.
That was the second part of it.
This is a standard dredge and fill application. And I'm trying to figure out if we get this because it's in a butter. Look at 5 Watts Hudson.
No, you get a copy of all of them.
In the state?
No, in the town, in the...
I can't find, oh, it is right here.
Yeah,
62 Hill Road.
yeah, it's in Tilton.
That's the name of the agent, this is the applicant,
Technically,
that's the
no.
landowner. This is
Yeah,
where it's taking
he's still
place.
part of
I'm helping them out.
Yes, and label vernal pool on the project plans.
One of them in there is for a really nice car.
Yeah. It comes to the
That's Hill
selectman's
Road.
office, it goes to the land use office. Yeah. Yep.
Wait a second.
This,
Thank you. PSNH. The largest one in there, these are the poles, right? This high sodium, high pressure sodium. The road committee, are we meeting soon?
Oh, to go look at telephone poles?
Yeah.
Dennis has the list. He has the list of every pole, and the lumens, and everything. How about after mud season? Once the frost heaves go down,
Okay.
once it stops snowing.
oh, we're talking July?
Well, it's like the monthly rate per fixture is different.
It's according to the number of lumens.
Kilowatts per fixture, yeah, they don't tell you that, number of fixtures. So we have one of those, and 44 of those, and one of those, and 7 of those. And all these other PSNHs couldn't be done through the Halifax because they're just small inconsequential amounts, is that what it was?
Some of them, and some of them, we still get a PSNH bill for transmission.
We still get PSNH bills, but the actual usage we've been paying Halifax.
And are we still saving if we add that all up?
Right now, we're not, but it should even out.
We're ahead of the game overall, but as Tim explained to us 2 or 3 weeks ago, they're like, in the high summer and the high winter, we're losing.
Yeah.
And it's in the spring and fall that we're saving, so.
Okay, you have any more come before us? Just the non-publics.
Can I
Chief,
ask
you
one-
have some, yep,
I just have one question for Joyce.
yep.
Tuscan Hill, have they signed that yet?
No, that was mailed out last Friday, so figure they got it Saturday, Monday. Today's Thursday. I was gonna
Okay,
give it another couple days.
Okay.
Oh, it's April 1st tomorrow, but
all right, because, it sounded like they were somewhat dissatisfied, and I just want to know if they plan us to sign it or not.
I have a couple of questions for you.
so we're gonna hold on to this until we talk with
Right.
Chuck. Okay.
The fact that the checks are no longer there, does that mean they've been actually sent?
No, they're right here.
Oh, because I saw stubs, I didn't see the actual check.
We have awarded the bill for the,
Oh, they're in the envelope. Okay, I didn't see that.
the bid for the water damage cleanup. I brought up, I don't know, a week or so ago about putting a fan over the town clerk's
Yes.
desk.
Yes, but I was gonna ask you about that.
Can we ask him to give us an estimate for that as an addendum to that?
Yeah?
I went back and looked on the Ellis ones that we've done, and all Ellis has done is just do, I thought he had done one of our paddle fans, but he's just replaced switches. And the one that was put down in the meeting hall was only $175.
Yes, but the fixture was there.
Oh, because this would include wiring.
Right,
Right, there was a fan there. I had them take it down because it was leaking.
Oh, right, the one in the...
So there was a fixture and a switch.
Okay.
right.
But
there's
to put one
nothing
over there, they'd have to
Right.
run a wire over. Which shouldn't be too much of a thing, but is there any electrical involved in what he's doing?
No. No, I think we should just go out and get an estimate.
Let's just go out and get an estimate, because that's, that might be, you might subcontract
Couple
it
of
out.
people.
Yeah, I've got Ellis Airworks, we should call Tommy Jordan,
Yep.
and
Who won the
Yeah, those
bid for
three.
these? It was Airworks, wasn't it?
that was the one that was 175, but the wiring was
Oh,
already there.
There was an existing canister already up there.
So let's get some
Yeah.
bids for that, that'd be great. And Northfield, do we want to set up a meeting very soon to go over the Island Park?
So do you want to just do Island? And
I think we should, quite frankly, I haven't gone through my reams of stuff in my folders to see where they left it, but I think they were still lumping all these things into it.
Right.
And they may even take this surcharge thing and try to put that in front of it, but the fact of the matter is, we shouldn't disenfranchise people who
Right, so
want
why
to
don't we
use
just
it, and
say-
let's just concentrate on, let's work on the island, get that resolved.
And just try and do that on other people.
We're trying to meet with them to discuss all these other things, but
Let's just
They're-
concentrate on the island.
We really need to get the island because
Yeah.
we have 6, is it 6 or 5 after Saturday that we have rented?
7,
7 rented.
just for the
Right.
So we'll get that taken care of, and then we
Yeah.
can make
And,
arrangements.
the Hartwell concerts are going to go on. They put in their monies for them, we put our monies in for them, so it's not like we're just reserving it, they're also using it. Okay.
I have a question for you. It's at the island and/or a Old Home Day fireworks night question for one of our business people here in town. Would love to set up hot dog sausage machine. And they asked if that was included in a hawkers and peddlers, and/or could we do that could they do that at the island on a Sunday night with the
Concert?
concerts?
Yeah, but doesn't the church,
Yeah, and
the Episcopal or Congregational Church, I don't know which, but
yeah,
don't they do
the
that?
food, and they help set up all the chairs.
Yeah. Don't
So
they
they're-
use the barbecue?
I don't know. I know that because Alan can't physically get everything set
I
up.
think they bring their own gas-fired.
Do they?
Yeah.
They supply the food and they clean up afterwards and everything, so they're actually part of presenting the concert. In fact, I think when Alan puts in his request, he includes the church. I think it's the Episcopal Church.
Yeah, I think so.
Because somebody had asked about selling ice cream at one point.
Right.
And Alan explained that the church works as part of the concert series, putting it on.
Right.
Even though we've taken and put the authority of that on hold for the park commissioners, if something like that came up, we should be cognizant and get their input while we're in this transition period of working it out with Northfield.
Okay, well, they do.
But nevertheless-
So because the church is doing it, nobody else can do it?
Well, I'd be reluctant, I mean, the church is doing it as a fundraiser, I should think, and I'd be
a
reluctant to
nonprofit.
having a for-profit company coming in to
Well, and they're
kind of steal their
they're
thunder.
part of working the concert, part of putting the concert on. I mean, if there's another vendor that wanted to go in and pick up the garbage and clean up or set up chairs or whatever, sure.
Well, and it's something that Alan Hartwell set up.
Church has just always done it.
So what if a business set up outside it?
Wouldn't that just be regular hawkers?
Where, on the right-of-way, or on the property that, the town of Tilton does not own the property where Timetable Maple is?
Who does?
I forgot the person's name. What happens is we abate, they don't pay any tax on it. It's kind of an informal agreement. It's been in place since I
Cousin
was
Mabel?
selectman. We use it as it's ours, and they don't pay a tax on it.
I'm
It's really-
asking these questions because if they get asked of me, I can answer them. So,
Is this Old Home Day or just, you said Old Home Day?
well, the concert series is anytime, but also on Old Home Day in the evening when there's fireworks going on, if this person got a hawkers and peddlers license, could that be something that he could do before we get to Riverfront Park for the fireworks?
He should, if he wants to do it in the park, he'd have to go through the park commissioners, but he would have to have a hawkers and peddlers license.
I would think.
If you did it,
What if he did it on the sidewalk? I thought that's what he wanted to do on the sidewalk.
You'd still
Before
need
you-
a
Still need a
hawkers
hawkers
and
and
peddlers.
peddlers because those sidewalks are owned by the town of Tilton.
Also need the
would you
health
get a-
department to okay that their stand was clean and met
well,
condition.
if you had a state license, then that would cover
Yeah,
that. But
they would have to
if
be,
you,
that would be part of it.
would you get a month hawkers and peddlers license for that, such a thing, or just the day? Would you, if you wanted to do several events in town, or
Well, if he was going to
how
do,
would you advise him?
Does Main Street have any say in events that are done on Main Street?
not on
Well,
Old
Main
Home-
Street
no,
has this-
Not on Old Home Day. They have a
Main Street has the summer
moratorium.
fair, and
Right.
the summer fair, they close the Main Street off.
Right.
But then the businesses that are down on Main Street can do their own thing, and this is one of the businesses down on Main Street, so that won't affect that.
We give them kind of a moratorium on it for summer fair because their vendors pay a fee to them to raise monies.
If they are
So we
for-profit,
don't-
if they are non-profit, they don't.
Right, we don't
And
double dip on it.
and the Knights of Columbus sell sausages there.
Oh, I see. I was looking at the account number and thought it was the amount that we
Main
owed.
Street business owner. But, all right. So the island's out, but River Park, it's a possibility if you got a hawkers and peddlers.
So I wouldn't have a
Well,
problem with that.
if he wants to be in Riverfront Park, he'll have to get permission from the park commissioners.
But if he wants to be on the sidewalk entering into Riverfront Park, then that
Need
would
the
be an
hawkers
issue.
and peddlers, and
He'll
then
need the hawkers and peddlers,
then
yeah.
it kind of opens the door for anybody that wants to do that, and they can all do it, and get a hawkers and peddlers, you know? I mean, I'm not saying this one yes and all others no, we can't do that, that's discriminatory.
Well, we've had people go there before when we've had Old Home Day and stuff.
And we've thrown them out
The
because they haven't
issue
had
that we've
hawkers
had in the
Well, if
past
they
is,
get one.
is like these balloon peddlers
Yeah.
and
They don't have a hawkers
souvenirs,
and
and they
peddlers.
don't get a hawkers and peddlers, or they get one in Northfield and they cross the
Right,
bridge and they think
cross
they're
the
still
bridge,
covered.
yeah.
Right.
Matter of fact, at the Christmas event, they were there selling stuff, and I was approached, do they get a hawker? I said, no. And I talked to Sarah, she says, I don't even want them here. So I talked to Bob, and they were told, get out.
Yep, get out. All right, so that was my question. The chief, you have a question for the board, right? Or a few things for the board.
Just an FYI on some recent time stuff.
Hello?
Come on over here.
This week on the Kazan shift, we've had a guy going up and down Laconia Road drilling holes into gas tanks, siphoning gas.
What?
Yeah, we've had...
Meaning cars that are parked?
Usually it's trucks and abandoned lots. so not people's personal cars, but
Trucks in abandoned lots.
yeah, we had one at Lion Auto, one at Dick Mary's, and two at MB Tractor. And so, they have a suspect. Just can't put it out yet, but they're working on it. So we should have someone under arrest.
That's a rotten thing to do. Drill a hole in somebody's gas tank.
Yeah, it's bad enough you're stealing the gas, but now they got to get their gas tank repaired.
Yeah,
Yeah, so exactly.
that's not cheap.
If you saw the paperwork come down today, one of the officers is back into that black hole that probably 20 people are back into it. Last few years, since that pole's now finally gone.
I saw that. I saw it being removed.
He was uninjured, I trust. Neck injury. Snap.
But he hit it pretty good. Just, it's the second time, first time in the last couple of months it was a highway computer. But we went out and got 3 estimates. One came in at 29, one came in at 24, one came in at 23. The lowest of the three officer. The second lowest was Norms. So we had the adjuster come out and look at it, and so at some point we're gonna investigate this. I think that LBC will probably get back to us once the adjuster looks at it and says, yeah, you go forward.
Do we have a deductible?
1,000.
Were the
So
bid,
anything above the 1,000, LBC will cover it.
were the bids identical?
Yep, apples for apples, yeah, I feel right, make sure they were. We bought a scanner similar to Tim's, so we're going to start doing the same thing as Town Hall. Everything's going to start getting scanned, and it'll make a big difference for a lot of reasons. It'll help us with file storage room, but it's going to make it easier getting documents back and forth between the PD and Town Hall, rather than faxing.
Are you allowed to have scanned documents as your permanent record?
We can. In some cases, it depends on the crime.
I mean, do you,
Like if it's
so,
a lot of times, files will have sworn statements where they're handwritten.
but what if you have a meltdown? I mean, do you have to, don't we have like a file retention place somewhere
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to have to do that if you're going to actually use those scanned electronic files as your permanent records?
Yeah, well, there's some that can't be. So I think a lot of it's going to help with like...
But those that can be, I mean, you could lose them.
I don't think you're really going to do that much scanning of the actual evidence and records, right?
And stuff like that, no. I think it's more for administrative paperwork going back and forth between the PD and Town Hall. You know, if Tim needs a receipt, he can scan it in and shoot it down to him. But that's how he's keeping everything, and so he asked us to kind of do the same.
But we're still required to keep the paper. So you'd have to get the paper to us.
With a lot of crimes, yeah.
No, receipts,
Yeah, but
invoices, and
even if he
statements.
needs the receipt now, they can scan it and email him the receipt.
Right,
and
but you still need to
send it down in
understand.
a packet later.
Right, you still need to understand, we have to have the original receipts, invoices and statements, until they make a difference.
The carnival is hired details, April 21 to April 24, coming up. And that's going to be the auto serve parking lot.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the concerts. They started last July 4th, but they haven't updated the calendar this year. I don't know when they're going to start.
I don't know if we should have allowed the carnival on the 21st.
Did they what?
Didn't you say that carnival's on the 21st?
That's when they move in, the 21st.
When do they
They don't-
actually open?
Do they open the 21st?
Oh, we got the,
Tell them they can open on the 22nd. Well, it's
oh,
town meeting
it says here,
on the 21st. You want everybody to go
dates
to...
April 21 to April 24th at any time between the hours of Thursday, 6 PM to 10 PM.
And right?
I hate to say it, but people that would go to this are gonna go to anything else but come to a town meeting to talk about police station. They'd go to the opening of a beer can.
Well, maybe they'll stop by, there you go. Maybe they'll stop by town meeting real quick to vote on their way to the carnival.
He did.
Maybe.
I guess, really, if somebody
Well, hell, the
Somebody
polls have to
is
be open for
very
an hour. You can
concerned
go
about
down
their
and
town
hit the
government.
rides and then come back.
Go on the beer
Friday
ride.
night instead of Thursday night, I guess it's not a concern.
Having them delaying the opening of this thing is not going to
No.
increase your,
Those who feel it's important enough will attend Thursday night.
yes, they'll come.
And apparently, I mean, one thing that I heard, and I don't know if it was one of us that said it, but some people had said that, they were calling their friends on how the vote went, and, they were at Little League meeting, they were at this, they were at that, so, I mean, it's like, if people think that their vote doesn't count, that proves that it did, and you should have been there.
I think that I'm having it on a Thursday night, especially with babysitting, we might have better attendance than on Saturday when people are
certainly hope
typically
so.
busier with
Did you
their...
get babysitters lined up?
Catherine finished it up for us, and yes, they're doing it for free. Yeah.
Very nice.
They're
Very
doing it
nice.
as a community service Thursday night in the gym.
Good.
Yeah. The school, which, Catherine?
Student council,
Is
Josh
it student
Keaton, right?
council or honor society?
Student council.
Yeah, Josh Keaton, student council. You gonna be here?
I'm gonna try, I'll know Monday when I get down there. I'm supposed to leave for the FBI Academy tomorrow night, and of course we have a snowstorm coming.
Of course.
Because I wanted to be down there Saturday morning to check in and find out who my roommate's gonna be and start to get settled in there. As soon as I get into my first week, I'm gonna find out if I can fly home on the 21st. I've already checked the airfare, it's $129 round trip on Southwest.
Oh, that's not bad.
Baltimore into Manchester. So, yeah.
What training will you be taking?
The FBI National Academy.
And that would entail
It's kind
3 months.
Yeah,
blackjack usage? I mean, I'd like to know, oh, you already got that covered. I'd like to
Very
know,
intensive,
but just out of curiosity.
yeah, it's Command Executive Leadership School for Chiefs. It's,
Pretty intense.
training in chief.
You only take,
Yeah, they are the best, right?
they only
FBI.
take one per state.
Really?
Yeah,
And he's
Well,
one.
congratulations, truly, truly.
They say it's
Yay.
less than 1%.
Hey, I had to be interviewed
She did.
by the FBI.
And so you must have got past.
And you
that.
still got in?
No, the question is, and I'm still here?
Oh, they probably bought an annex to the building at Quantico just for your file.
That's a testament to yourself and the town of Tilton in general. I'm real happy for you.
Yeah, hope to make you guys proud. Study every night. There's no
proud.
TV down there, so they said the only way you can keep up on the news is on your laptop. There's not a cable line or a TV anywhere on campus.
Now, once you complete this, their ceremony will be down there?
Unfortunately, everyone's welcome that wants to make the trip, but
I'm not flying down there, and I don't think, well,
Train goes there.
well, we can drive.
We can drive.
The Queen Mary.
I'll drive.
you're all welcome.
Road trip.
For graduation?
Oh, you're gonna let us know.
For the camp.
When's the
Hey.
graduation?
June 10th.
I may go down there, but I've already got accommodation in DC.
Ooh, it's a Friday.
Yeah, I got a place in Maryland.
But, if you find yourself down there between now and then too, get a hold of me for a tour of the FBI Academy in DC. The FBI trains here, the DEA does, the CIA.
And then TPD.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
So, I've already talked with Ryan. He's gonna probably make all the meetings on dot. I'll be checking emails and voicemails every day. And
We told him we'd run him through the ringer while you were gone.
We told them we would use and abuse them.
The ultimate test.
good for him.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Okay. What else? Anything?
I saw where there was an arrest over there at Fast Cash.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, they've been busy with that, some shop and stuff. It's nothing crazy but steady. But I think it's the kind of it's going to be a busy summer. We have Hell's Angels World Run coming in the summer in July, and Bike Week and all that. And so
In addition to Bike Week, they're coming.
it's a whole separate week.
We have Hell's Run.
They're doing their, they do that every, how many years?
That I don't know. But I mean, it doesn't.
It's a gathering, and they do it routinely. It's like every, I want to say 3 or 4 years.
Generate so much problems, but it's just a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of traffic,
It's
so,
pretty well behaved,
yeah.
sort of.
A lot
They're
of
just regular guys. I don't know why everybody
Yeah, but
talks bad about the Hells Angels.
Here's the thing about
You hear
a
any
lot of
bad
these
out
Hells
from us?
Angels.
I hear it everywhere.
I go up to the
A
Wares.
lot of these things about the Hells Angels is once
it
they
is
pull
a lot.
their hog over, they have to reach around behind them, unfold the walker, and get going down the road.
I mean, I think anytime you have a big group coming in, it's going to bring in a ton of traffic, and
Right.
hotels are all full for that week. So, that, and I guess we're looking at 6 to 12 tomorrow.
No, it's
No?
going to miss us.
Good.
Outstanding.
Actually, I thought it was going to go dead center right over us.
Yes.
It's going to miss us.
Did you read the latest,
Take your time.
It's going to miss it. I put my shovel away.
Oh, it's your fault.
the latest announcement on our email that was forwarded to us from the utilities was right over the top of us in 9 to 14.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go right over us.
I have to hire.
Lakes region, dead center, yeah.
Yep.
The most snow.
When-
So do we want to, what are we doing about town hall? Because it's going to start at midnight.
Yep.
Tonight?
Tonight,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I'll be here. I'm going to be working tomorrow.
At midnight, you'll be here?
Oh, at midnight?
You're going to come in the morning?
Yeah,
Be here.
we'll be here.
Are you sure?
You have 8 inches or a foot of snow, Catherine. You going to come in?
Well, it depends on if I can get my husband up to snow blows.
Most of her travel's over Route 3.
He has to snow blow and have a big driveway.
We'll get up and
I'll come get you in the tractor.
Oh, no.
In the word being tractor. Yeah, and you have to sit in the bucket.
we can, I'm going to be up anyway because I'm going to go to Zanka's wake.
That was sad.
It is. Great, 10 to 12. 10 to 12. Yeah. And we can make a decision in the morning on that.
So you'll be here.
Yep.
Good.
Yes. 1989, when the telephone company was on strike for 15 weeks, he gave me a job.
Nice, he was a nice guy. He was interesting,
Wonderful guy.
but he was a nice man. He used to own the restaurant right there.
Paulie's.
Okay, so the
it
other
was
question
called
is, are you
College.
flying down?
Call Paulie's. but it's
Right here.
in that building.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Or was,
Paul's.
What are you going to
With
do?
the storm.
yeah, there was over there for a while, in Meserve store.
Have to take a
Yeah,
whole bunch of
Pauley
stuff.
started at Meserve's.
Come back and-
Then it moved over to what used to be Marion's Lunch.
That's right,
The flying stuff, I'm gonna cover that myself.
the stationery store.
The only thing with the vehicle is, that doesn't Ryan need the vehicle?
Well, he was gonna take a black and white, one of the older black and whites home, but I don't, with the storm coming in tomorrow night, I might be better off taking the truck anyway.
With your, than your vehicle, you mean?
You gonna leave that in long-term parking for?
No, he's driving.
Drive, and I gotta drive down and drive
He-
back.
There's a lot of stuff that he has
You
to,
know, fly back and forth.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Fly, but-
there's a lot of stuff he has to take down with him.
Take the biggest, it's safest.
So take the SUV? No?
Well, I don't know how it would do. It's pretty tired. They're gonna start stripping it down at Highway, I guess, and get everything out of it.
Well, you're going south, so you're not gonna have snow for very long.
No, by the time I get out of New Hampshire, hopefully I'll be done with it.
You should hit rain about the Massachusetts border, Nashua.
Are you putting both of them in charge, or Ryan?
Well, technically Ryan's 702. He's the senior of the two.
Okay.
And then in his absence, it would be Dicky 703. But Ryan would be the senior of the two lieutenants, so in the chain of command, it would start at Ryan and then go down from there. And I think Vicky's kind of right now overseeing the schedule of patrol, when Ryan oversees detectives, but while I'm down there, he'll kind of oversee this one.
And now Nate Morrison is in as a detective while Nate Buffington finishes up his polygraph school, correct? And his polygraph school will finish in May, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's known in the class, has dropped about 4 people out of the class so far.
Now, they're going to start using our part-timers to reduce the overtime?
Well,
I mean, we had one individual that had 15 hours in 1 week.
yeah,
It was spread over 4 days.
spread the part-timers out over the shift, so that if people call out sick, we're still staff okay. Where you run into an issue is that someone calls out sick.
You have to replace them.
Yes.
You have to replace them with a full-time. You have to ask first. If nobody takes it, then you fill them with the part-timers.
That's always been like that.
Yep.
As long-
So if they're already scheduled,
Then you don't have to.
then you don't have to. If somebody
Right.
calls out sick,
So the issue is if you sporadically assign the 3 of them throughout the schedule, then chances are you will hit a time when
but
one of
then you
them...
also don't want to add regular hours.
Well, you're adding them to part-time.
Right.
But
Yeah,
still,
it's tricky.
I know.
And then it definitely helps, with busy weeks, vacation weeks, if you're planning ahead. It's
Well,
not
you
hard
had,
to understand.
if you look at it, there's, what is it, 60 hours of paid time off?
Paid time off,
So, I mean, now, that would constitute a busy week.
yeah.
Yeah, plus I even covered one shift
Right.
myself.
Yeah, so somebody'd have to be real crafty with scheduling
Yeah, supervisor on vacation, so
to make it work in our advantage.
getting into the summer, it's going to be huge when people start putting in for vacations.
Right. Yeah, I think so, too.
When will they start patrolling Main Street?
And I actually mentioned that to Dickie 2 nights ago. I said, please.
I actually saw him patrolling Main Street the other day.
Dickie likes to.
Yeah.
Walked down and walked up.
Dickie enjoys it.
I mean, because they're in their ethical
Excellent.
process.
It takes him 4 hours because he stops and chats with everybody.
Well, excellent. I think having a police officer downtown is a good idea.
Right.
Hours, and you'll start to see them all over there.
Okay.
They're supposed to swing through the parking lot in the back, too.
I like to see them, well, I assume they do
Yeah.
that. I like to see them
Yeah.
walking.
On foot.
Yeah, on
I
foot.
sent the lieutenants an email that once the snow melts next week, I want to see the pedestrian signs back up. Because that again helps people realize where
Right.
crosswalks are.
Yep.
Do we, you mean put them out in the middle of the road?
Like last summer,
That'll slow traffic down.
those fluorescent ones.
Yeah.
Right out in the middle.
That's the way they were last year.
Yeah. And
I
it's,
know, I picked some of them up.
I was going to say, they get kind of battered around by the traffic.
some
When you come
down,
through
too.
at night, they're usually all over the place.
They fly real good,
Yeah, they do.
or so I've heard.
That's amazing. Sometimes they look kind of beat up. It's like, ooh. At least it wasn't a body. It was just a sign.
Well, if you need anything when you're down there, just
Yeah.
give us a call.
Yep.
Postcards.
Vice versa, I can
Postcards.
Postcards.
still get things happening.
I don't want to see any dorm pictures of you,
Oh, I don't know.
No, that is more information than we need.
Man.
Yep.
YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do not want to see any YouTube videos.
One YouTube video was enough.
One was enough, that was it.
That was interesting.
That was pathetic. But no, that, you'll do well. I suspect
will.
you'll do very well. Thank you for getting the donation. We have a donation of 20 plastic tubs, storage tubs, so that we can put our artifacts in so that they don't get moisture or anything from the Grange while they do the construction.
Oh,
From Walmart.
Outstanding.
have we ever disseminated out which belong to,
Nope.
I told her
Back
to
everything
call
up.
Bob Brown.
no, you get Catherine over there, she knows most of what is ours.
Yeah. You say, okay, this goes in
Because it
here.
used to be in Town Hall. She knows far better what is ours.
Would you prefer that we get the flying squirrels out of there first, Karen? Catherine?
They
Okay.
don't actually fly, they glide more.
Up in Town Hall.
The fact that they're rodents.
Okay.
We tucked into those
No, we
boxes.
were going to take them over to
Two
Business
little
Park
teeth.
Drive.
No, I think what,
No, even, they're nothing but rats with short stubby tails.
he puts the,
Well, I have a rodent story I'll
Yeah,
tell
that's
you when we're not in mixed company, but it ends up badly for
until we
me.
know what we're going to do with it. It's dry. it's
Superman has
not
kryptonite,
moisture,
right?
And
like
until the
guy in
construction is
Samson
done,
had his hair and stuff.
then we can pull it all
For me,
back
it's
out.
any sort of rodent, those two
Heist
teeth
it all
are
up
the...
here. They're going to be working
I think that's a
up
great
there.
plan. I'd like to see it put back up over there.
We want it back up over there.
Yeah.
That's why we want it in storage.
I think
tubs.
I
history
ended
and,
up with this, do you need that back? Or Joyce need it back?
I think history and senior center go hand in hand.
I think that would be an excellent idea.
Yeah,
So, thank you very much, and I'll give him a call tomorrow.
yep.
Yeah, I
If
think
it snows,
Who
maybe.
donated them?
he was off today, and I think he said he needed to call one of his stores to come up with 20, because he didn't think he had 20 in his store alone, so.
That was nice.
Call him Plymouth to get some brought down.
I just got a donation from Walmart. Well, I will get,
For what?
for our plantings.
Really? Of plants?
We plant the trough and the
Circle out here.
circle.
And they donate the plants?
They're going to donate some of it. I'll have to go to other places.
Tilton Nursery might be conducive to that.
You watch it.
Video.
Yes.
And they were very, I mean, there was no,
Right.
I just asked them, absolutely.
Yeah, the manager,
Greg.
was really nice.
It was very nice, very, very nice.
Joyce, the one thing that we didn't talk about, the health spending account.
Yeah, I know. So far, they have 2 people that are interested.
That's it?
And the last time we had talked about, I don't think you were at the meeting, we need to look at the cost, what it would cost the town for those 2 employees.
Okay. Okay.
But I think we should pursue it again prior to open enrollment. Right?
Okay.
We just maxed ours out right before I got the glasses.
All right. Well, that's it. Is there any more business to come before us? We have a life safety on Monday night.
I just want to ask, Catherine, I'm going to go down to Local Government Center
Oh,
this
this
next
one?
week.
I thought you were talking to,
No, and I just wanted to check.
what day?
Well, I'm asking you, what's a good day for you?
Monday's wide open, Wednesday's wide open.
All right, why don't we plan it, can you do it Monday, if you want to come?
Yeah, I believe so.
And the purpose of this is?
I do want to come.
We're going down there, I want to talk to them concerning the railroad and the conditions they're trying to put on a site plan. So we'll plan on Monday? And we don't have to meet here real early. Say, go down there about 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I don't know.
Call ahead, make an appointment.
I will do that in the morning.
Yeah, I'll come in first thing, I'm going to make it a working day anyway,
Okay?
so I'll be here.
I'll call and see what I can do tomorrow, and then I'll let both of you know.
Excellent.
Well, for now.
Yeah.
Chief, a non-public for personnel issue? Okay.
I'm positive that.
I think it will be a while.
A lot.
We have 5 non-pubs.
Do you need a ride?
No, 3 non-pubs, so a little bit. I'll call you. No, we're going out after.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna quick get a water up for you.
Yep. 3 non-pubs. Does that include the chiefs? The personnel issue?
Oh, yeah, we wanted to. Yeah, we want to.
So that's 4. Okay. All right, and do you have, you're going to recommend? Okay. You've already checked it out. All right. Any more business? Joe?
So I have a question. Who's Gail Spellman?
Gail Spellman is a resident of town. She has not been involved too much in community, but wants to get involved in the community a lot more.
Good.
She came into town the other day looking for things to do, talked with Cindy. She's actually doing the minutes of the town meeting because,
Yeah, I know about that.
okay. No, Liza's doing the next minutes, but these had to be done within the week, and Liza
They had to be done by
Liza was
today,
there,
didn't they?
but, in the conversation with Gail, but,
Just sign this.
yeah. I guess there's a time, we only got an extension, I guess, and they worked it out anyway, and Gail's doing it.
Please sign it, and I'll make a copy
Meeting on the
for you, Chief.
21st?
You could sign it.
Oh, good.
But she's going to transcribe the ones that we have now. But she wants to be on this committee.
Supervisor of the checklist or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was at the fire commissioners meeting the other day. Yesterday? Day before? Yesterday, last night, yeah.
Interesting, huh?
And it was very interesting, and I found out that we pay our part to the fire department once a month, and the other municipality pays by the quarter.
Right. Which causes a
And I was
problem.
just wondering, well, they've decided they can budget around it apparently, because it is what it is. They can't force anybody to pay. But I was just wondering if that was standard procedure. or-
They had asked us, they came out and asked us if we wouldn't mind paying monthly. They've asked both towns to pay monthly, and Northfield has refused to pay monthly. They want to pay quarterly.
Is it because
Last
they
year-
can't pay, or they just don't want to pay, or you don't know, right?
You'd have to budget. It's just like we do, you'd have to budget.
You have to budget. But it caused an issue last year where they ran out of funds, the fire department ran out of funds, and they asked us to pay ahead of time. And we paid ahead of time, but then they came into a further issue where they were running out of funds, and they were forced to go get a TAN.
Well, they have the application in for a TAN now, just in case, so that they've got everything set up for themselves.
But
so they don't
that
have to
creates
come.
interest, and that
Yes, it
interest,
does.
we pay 64% off.
Tom Gallant was very vocal about that very fact, and said they were going to avoid the TAN if at all possible. So just to let you know that, which you might well have already knew, but...
Right.
I went to the underground storage tank meeting, as Joyce was saying, and I guess we pretty much talked about that. There was a recycle meeting on the 30th. We talked about the 5-member board and the charge of the board. We're moving forward with educational stuff. We got in touch with Chuck Mitchell about the possibility of a informational/entertainment presentation during the time the polls are open, for those people that were going to stick around for that. Second vote, or the results of the vote, he was going to get back to us on that. We purchased a number of these little R2, well, they're not little, they're like yay big, I guess. Maybe you saw them at the town meeting. They look like R2-D2. That's kind of what I was calling them. They're compost bins. They retail for like, I was looking on the net, they're like $119. But we picked them up for $45 through NRRA. And we might sell one to, like, if you, because today's the cutoff day, if you decided you wanted one, well, we've got one if you wanted, and we just give the money to the general fund, because we can't put it back in the thing. Otherwise, what our plan is to raffle them during, like, the street fair and whatever, to Tilton residents only, for no money. It's not a money thing. It's trying to get them to come over to the table and make them aware of recycle issues and composting, especially composting. People know a lot about, that I've been talking with, know about recycling, but not so much about how you can get that wet garbage out of the trash stream. There's a lot of coffee grounds, banana peels, whatever, that are very good for your gardens, but they're just unaware that you can use that stuff. So hopefully this is a way to spur that kind of thing. We're going to be at the Go Green event at the Winnisquam Middle School. I've got the date in here somewhere, but I didn't write it down here. Norm, probably 14th or something?
I was thinking it was the 23rd.
There you go, the 23rd of April. And that's actually Joyce's event, I think. Is that on the 23rd, the Go Green?
It's the PTO, I'd have to look at my...
Okay, well, Norm said it's the 23rd, so in any case, we're going to have an informational thing over there, and we'll have our little R2-D2 sample thing, and we'll have recyclables. And
Take it back. It's May 14th
the 14th, there we go.
of May.
And
Is there anything?
May 14th from 1 to 4.
there we go. We're going to investigate the dumpster at 61 Business Park Drive. That's still kind of up in the air at this point. We can get the dumpster, but putting it at 61 Business Park Drive, we don't know where to put it necessarily, and we'd have to talk with I don't know who to get permission and so forth. We were discussing with regard to Mrs. Hutchinson. Was that her name? The lady that wrote about there's not enough time or accessibility.
Yeah.
And to her, I say that down on Route 140 in Belmont, near the FedEx building down there, there's a Best Way that is a single-stream recycle facility and is open from like 7 to 4, 5 days a week. Also, we were talking about, that's the flyer for that Go Green thing. We were talking about the possibility of leaving the dumpster at 61 Business Park Drive unlocked so people could bring their stuff there at their convenience.
No, absolutely not.
Because of what?
Every time we've put a dumpster someplace unlocked, it is abused. You'll go back there and you'll find not what you want in it. We've experienced that at Noyes Road, we experienced that at the intersection of Perkins and Autumn Drive.
And I remember that was nasty up there. And I kind of
People
mentioned
don't
that to
respect
Marge at
dumpsters.
the time, but it's like, well, I don't know. I'll bring it to the selectmen and we'll talk about that.
We can get a directive from the Board of Selectmen. How does everybody feel about unlocked dumpsters?
I don't know.
No,
I'm not real keen on it.
no.
I mentioned it then, and they thought, they said, we could try it for a week, and if it doesn't work out, but I mean...
Yeah, and
That
then
would
who's
ruin
gonna
the,
clean
that would
it up?
ruin the dumpster thing if we did it.
Yeah, no.
The only, well, no, it is what it is. Okey dokey, then I would vote that I would make a motion that we keep the dumpster for recycling locked when there's nobody there to man it.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, because I think it is a good idea to not have a casual dumpster that's just, especially when Best Way is open 5 days a week, or 5.5 days a week. And lastly, we are looking to put together a small informational film to be included on the website, and the recycling part of the website. What gets recycled, how to recycle, where you can bring your recyclables. With that kind of information, I don't know what form that would take or whatever, but we're just kicking it around right now. We have some things on there, lists of things and what have you, and I was just wondering how you guys felt about that, whether it interrupts our bandwidth or... I don't think there's an issue, but...
You'd have to talk to Tim, as far as I'm
Well,
concerned.
no, Tim's okay with that. It's not a matter of that, it's a matter of, it's your committee,
Having the committee on the website?
It's not the committee per se, it's their little educational film, that's all.
Oh, okay.
And you could
I don't
look
have
at
an
it
issue
in
with that.
advance and make sure it's appropriate for all ages. It would be, but...
Let's talk garbage.
Let's talk trash.
I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
As a liaison to the recycling committee. 2 questions. One is, we made a motion in the not-too-distant past to record all our committees and commissions and boards. And I didn't see you recording the recycling committee's meeting.
The last meeting, we did not. Kilco was unavailable, and none of us really know how to operate the equipment, which is probably a poor excuse, but that's the only one I got. On the previous 2 times, once we had a sound issue, which we rectified in the second meeting, but like the first time I said something crude, and the second time Dave Fox said something crude, so it was decided, Sandy Plessner saw the first one, and I said something very uncomplimentary and used very rough language doing it, actually with regard to LRPA and trying to find things on their schedule. It was the language I used, not what I said about LRPA, because I've said that to their board, and it was the language, and Dave the same way. But we will continue as of our next meeting, I assure you. And what was the other thing?
The other thing was, as a liaison to the chat committee, I would humbly ask the recycling committee, if at all possible, if they meet the same day as the chat committee, would they entertain the thought of coming up here rather than the chat committee, because we have elderly...
Absolutely. If we'd have known that you guys were meeting that day, we'd have been up here. I guarantee you, we'd have been up here. But half your people were upstairs, and then I saw the people with the dog and the walker, and it's like, well, you saw I came up and got the thing for the one woman. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would be helpful, thank you.
We were just unaware, but you betcha. Do our meetings always coincide, or
I don't know,
only sometimes, probably, right?
Our next one is April 12th.
Yeah, right. I think we're like the 3rd Wednesday or something like that in a month. I don't think it'll...
Okay.
Well,
I
me
don't
neither,
think it
but I have the
usually does.
meeting minutes right here. 4:21 at 11 a.m.
Then we're good. All right, does anyone else have anything?
Thank you for that report.
You bet. Oh, I also went to a consortium meeting today. And they haven't got the RFP sent out for the lawyer, but they had a guy named Alan McCrae there, who was a regular fountain of information. Oh, you're going to love this. He was a regular fountain of information. He was there at the very beginning of the consortium. He was from Belmont. He was a Belmont Selectman at the time. This guy knows his stuff. I don't know what he does now, but he was spouting laws and BODs and fiber optic cables.
What's his name?
Alan McCrae is the guy's name.
Alan McCrae.
Yep. According to Mr. McCrae, and which I subsequently found out, RSA 53-3, 2. No company shall commence construction or operate a cable television system in any municipality without first obtaining a written franchise from the franchising authority. We don't have a signed contract, and they've been operating in violation of the law for the last 10 years.
Nice.
Now, I don't know what that means to us. I really don't. But that struck me because I said, we didn't sign the contract. So we've had trouble dealing with MetroCast, which apparently is a common experience amongst all of the various towns, and even the consortium when they first sent it up. It was a contentious 4-year battle. He says that's illegal. They can't. That pole permit. Everybody's got a pole permit. He says you have to have a signed contract.
Interesting.
Well, 53C semicolon 2 shall not operate. So I don't know what that means to us, but apparently they're in violation of 53C, which I thought was like ever so interesting. The RFP's going out for the lawyer to the LGC. That'll be back on the 21st of April. Our next meeting is on May 12th, I believe. The lawyer is going to focus on initially memorandum of understanding between the towns, and focus initially anyway on how is he going to be paid. Is it going to be a split? If there's 10 towns and $20,000, is it $2,000 a town? Is it going to be by the number of subscribers, which is what it was the last time? And like Laconia is going to take a big hit, but they also stand to gain the most out of this as well. So that's kind of where the consortium is at this particular juncture.
Interesting.
And that's all I've got.
Well, you didn't mention the townwide yard sale?
Oh, no. I'm a conehead. I'm sorry. You've seen these.
Seen them. I made them.
Selectmen Dawson, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. This is our plan. This is to coincide with Earth Day. And of course, for me, that's the first day of Selectmen school, so I gotta, hopefully my wife and daughter will do this, so.
If I may, it's not just so much to coincide with Earth Day as to be the weekend before cleanup week.
Yes.
Because last year, Dennis noticed a sizable reduction of materials coming in to be disposed of at town expense because we had this.
Yeah, and he did say that it was a sizable reduction, although he didn't have numbers, because I spoke with him subsequently. Yeah. He didn't have the figures right offhand, but he says, oh no, it dropped off significantly from years prior. So I can tell you as a participant that it was a good thing with the maps and the advertising and whatever. For me, I took in like $800. Unless, of course, there's an IRS person listening to this, and then I didn't make anything, but... And I also, the next day, I brought the stuff that didn't sell and stuff that I didn't really plan on selling. I had a whole bunch of chairs and wood chairs. They took them all away. People just stopped by and grabbed them, so I didn't have to bring them to the transfer station, which again is that much less that the town had to take away. Now that really is all I have. Isn't it, Norm?
I would say you did well, Joe.
Okay.
Is there any more business to come before us? Then, having no more business coming before us in the public forum, I will make a motion to enter into non-public session as per RSA 91A:3. B, the hiring of any person as a public employee. And D, E, the consideration, negotiation, of pending claims or litigation which has been threatened in writing or filed against the body or agency or any subdivision thereof.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's what I've had for dinner.
I know.
Yeah.
Do we have a dress code in our personnel policy?
Make a motion, we seal the minutes of the meeting as they pertain to personnel permanently and as they pertain to legal as till the matters are resolved.
Second.
Our personnel policy allows short shirts.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What? Our personnel policy even allows short shorts. Remember, we went through all that?
I'd like to make a motion that we create a policy that there will be no facial piercings, visible facial piercings outside of earrings on anybody that works at Town Hall.
Earrings on earlobes.
Town employees.
Earrings on earlobes, because you can put earrings.
Earrings on earlobes.
No facial jewelry.
Correct.
Yeah, no facial jewelry.
No facial jewelry.
The ears being side of the head.
So that's an amendment to our
So
personnel.
that means no tongue jewelry, no lip jewelry, no nose jewelry, no eyebrow jewelry, no cheek jewelry.
What about when you have like 20 on your ears?
It's fine.
Ears are
Ears are fine.
not to be considered part of the face for this,
Right.
and I would second that. I just have one question in discussion.
Okay.
To be added to our personnel handbook?
Yes.
This is amendment to our dress code policy?
This is an amendment to our dress code policy.
And as such would be
Effective
applicable to every employee?
Applicable to every employee and effective immediately.
So, did you say in town hall? Or did you
She
just
said-
Town
say?
She
employees.
changed
I
it to
amended
town
it to town employees.
Okay, thank you. I'm good.
So it's all town employees, no facial visible facial piercings, jewelries, however you want to word that, which means no tongue piercings, no nose piercings, no cheek piercings, lip piercings, nothing.
So tell all the officers, no facial jewelry.
Those tongue studs are going to have to come out.
We have it. It's in our...
I would not
it in
want to
your
be a law
policy?
professional,
Is it a
law
SOP?
enforcement with facial piercings.
So,
I mean,
all right, I'll
first
take a
thing
look
it's
at it.
going to do is rip that out.
All right, a motion's been made and seconded for a policy on facial jewelry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
emphatically.
The one I don't like is where they do their earlobes and they stretch them so
Oh, God.
you see the hole through the
Or
ear.
Jason has one of those, my
does?
son-in-law.
You get to the
When
point
he's
that
60, that's going to be very
you're
attractive.
tripping over
Want to
your
sticking my
earlobe.
pen through it. Can I just toss that through there?
He heard a rumor that the new police station up on 61 Business Park Drive was going to have its own gas tank.
Who said that?
Own tank. I just wanted to know the rumor. And I asked the chief, and chief said, "No."
Who said that?
Glenn Smith heard a rumor that 61 Business Park Drive was going to have their own gas station. up
Are
there.
we? Great.
Dan, he's...
Tell them we're going to use that, that's what we'll use in the
he gonna
entire vacant lot for.
Yeah. Does he have an eavesdropping device in town hall?
I don't know who we would have heard that from.
They're
I
only
made
gonna-
that comment one
They're only
time.
gonna have gas up there when they eat
last week
tacos.
when we were
Right,
talking about the
tacos for lunch, we got all
surcharges,
the gas
and
you
we
could
said,
buy.
why can't we just do it and store it up to 61 Business Park Drive? That was a comment
Remember we made that a
here
while
at town
ago?
meeting.
We talked
I mean,
about it?
at Selectmen's meeting, yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, the design that you have up there doesn't have,
Oh, heck no, we just threw it out there as,
okay.
this gets ridiculous.
Yeah,
We
he
threw it out there.
addressed it to you.
Are we done, Madam Chairman?
I don't know,
Motion to adjourn.
I have not heard a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye, we are done.
Tell me about your day down there today. I did drive around looking for you, and it didn't look like things had really started yet. People were